Helping you out with shit. I won't be putting anything for crit today since my art's perfect. Well, finally you fucking admit to it then, at least. I've been trying to get you to fucking see that for a minute. and now, uh, and now you finally are on it. Um, Discord chat soon if you, and I should have a Discord chat soon if you like. What do you mean? Have a Discord chat soon if you like. Um, so this is based on a mix between a sickle and an Egyptian Kopesh. What did he make this with? Yeah, what did you make this with? Tell us about your piece. Tell us the inspiration. Tell us how you feel about it. What emotions do you feel like when you make a sickle like this? Um, okay, this part might be like a fairly quick critique actually on yours on this because I just don't know 3D design. I'm not totally sure what you're going to want to look for with it. Pre-existing weapons when I pull it, when it's pulled back out of the body, it does more damage. Hence the little spike. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Voice text. Oh, sorry, I was playing. I was saying you and I should have a Discord chat about your OBS. Oh, okay. How the Mac works for streaming. Yeah, I have a lot of uh, slowdown issues with adding too much shit to it. But hopefully that'll be fixed in the future. I'll get rid of that. But audio is a fucking pain. I know Ariel went through shit. um, okay, second thing you make. I'm curious what you think of it as a design. Okay. Um, as a design, I'm totally cool with it. It reminds me of like a Mortal Kombat type of design. This I want to see like be like a little bit more round or like I really know a ton about 3D stuff, but like um, just in general, like I guess as a polish phase, right? I kind of want to see this kind of go more like a crescent shape, I guess, or something where it's a little bit less wobbly and comes up into here. So more like that, even like this, right? Getting this a little bit more round. So like we got a little bit more smoothness to it because we have so much roundness and smoothness and curves here. Here we have it. Here we have it. Here we have it. Through here we have it. So like let's kind of keep that going with the idea, right? I think it would be cool as like a dual wielded type of weapon. Um, I'd kill some baddies with it in a game. Yeah. Would you take this to yoga classes? Um, yeah. So keeping it more of that consistent. Like you have a lot of consistency up here that looks really sexy with these curves. Um, and so keeping that idea with it, because when it stops here and it kind of gets these, and it was kind of getting that square sort of I don't know, flattened outlook. That's not necessarily that bad, but it also was throwing my eye a little bit from like the consistency of like the curves and like what it was sort of I don't know the sort of like the sleek motion of it basically. Uh, is it sharp on the inside or outside or both? I don't know. I think it's meant to like stab and then go in like a fish hook where it can't get back out, like stab in to up to this point, and then it can't get back out through this point, right? Um, yeah, I liked the idea of the wraps coming loose at the end, although I would make it to where there's if it were me, I would keep that wrap. I would because this looks like it's falling apart to me instead of coming loose. Um, I like the idea of this dangling down, but I would add something on the end, right? And then like keep the wrap tight, but then maybe add like something if you want that dangle down look, something ornamental on it, adding like a little design maybe putting like designs on this, like a little hook here. That way it looks like it's supposed to be, and it's not. When you have the wrap here falling apart, it kind of looks like that's falling off, which is okay if it's like weathered and stuff. Um, but like I think you kind of convey that. I want it to look, me personally, I want it to look like a more solid weapon. So we have loose wraps already, but then if we want that dangle down piece, we could add something like ornamental with a design, like a maybe like a metal buckle right in here, at the end of it. Uh, Something where that could like hang off. Put little glyphs or some shit on there. A sexy weapon. Not to yoga. I'm not sure how I could use that as a yoga. Just think outside the box a little bit. All right. You don't think you could do like sun salutations with this thing, like overhead or nothing? Uh, Blades aren't thin sheets of metal. Add. Oh, that's a good point, Chrissy. That's a good point. Add some beveling to it. I don't know if you know how to do that really, but like so like at least I mean you have it beveled here, right? So you do know beveling. So yeah, just coming in here with like on the edge of this, which I think it would be darker on the edge. And basically it would be the sides that we see would have that bevel, that sort of 3D look. That's a really good idea too, because you do have it right here, and this looks very 3D, um, with that shine too. Read about cutting my hand, maybe a hand guard. Where would you put the hand guard? Like something like right there, at the top, maybe. Yeah, because it would depend on where you hold it. The first time doing that type of form, a lot of extrusions. Just fake your student. I was going for the kind of weathered look that this is an artifact found in a game. Okay. In that case, the way that at least I draw weathered looks, uh, yeah. I mean, then you could definitely do that. But I would do this with I make these little V cuts, sort of in like in into like the whatever you call this, the wrap. I make little cuts that are kind of like either V shaped, or then maybe I make like a little one next to it. Um, and then sometimes I'll have like these little like smaller cuts and stuff like going through here. I mean that's drawing, so that's a little bit different. But sometimes I'll add those. Um, but yeah, if it's weathered and you want to convey weathered, like make sure that we know that's weathered and it's not just kind of falling apart. I know you're still in like the grayscale stage too, so like when you would add paint over it, like that's where you'd probably get to those. Caspus AG. Um, you can do everything on my head. Brush Z, on the other hand, is very, very, very expensive. Is it? It isn't thin. Lighting is a bit. That lighting is a bit awkward. Okay. Um, like proper prop. I wouldn't sit on it or rest my weight on it anyway. You wouldn't use it like a triangle, like when you put the blocks under people that are trying to do like triangle, to help them out. You can just like stab it into the ground and like use that. Uh, it's a ridge up the middle. A true killer doesn't need a handguard. Yo, have a good night, Hasami. Thank you for popping in. We can do my crit. Well, I'll do your crit, and then we'll upload it to YouTube, so you can see. You'll still be able to see it. All right. You can watch it later or watch it on the highlights. Um, yeah, that might be a texture map for sure. The poor wooden floors. Aegis, how you doing? Tarstops, what's going on? What's up, everybody? We're doing critique sessions. This is AG's critique right now. Um, so we're getting that done. Hope everybody's doing good. Uh, yeah, so I do agree with the beveling, like here, on the handles and stuff, makes it look really good, really 3D. Uh, maybe accented a little bit more. I think I want to see it. I want to see it when you put if you do put texture maps on it and all that stuff. I don't know like how far into this you get or if you just stop here. Um, but I want to see it like fully rendered if you go that far and kind of see how that plays out. Hey, yo, Echo, what's up? How was your nap, baby? Wreck Me Art Daddy. All right, adding that one to the group. Got some Jalen in there. It's not a critique session without Jalen. But we don't have Biggie. I don't think we have Biggie Boo for the second week in a row either. That makes me sad. Um, I like having Biggie's. I like having Biggie's stuff to critique. I don't know where he's at. I was gonna stream it, but forgot I have therapy, so I'd run pretty late. Yeah, I got you. I got you. That's probably way more important too. Honestly, man, I'm proud of you for doing that shit. By the way, people getting therapy, good job. Good job. Everybody needs it and deserves it. Add a machine gun to. Okay, add a machine gun to it. I like that idea. I like that idea. Add a machine gun. Bevel the edges. Add a machine gun. Maybe a handguard. Um, I have done zero art since last time. Have you just had the shits since last time? It's just been consistent shits. Yo, Sebastian, what's going on, homie? How you doing today? Not everyone can afford it. um, Gunblade may be my second piece, actually. Dude, I was a huge... I'm a huge Final Fantasy 8 fan simply for the card game that came with it. Me and my best friend back then, we had the card game that you played. We had like the actual card. You could buy the actual cards for the card game at like God, what was that place called? Not well, they had it at Funko Land. Probably nobody remembers what a Funko Land was by this point because GameStop bought them all. But there was another place in the mall that was all video game related, but they had the cards for it. That and the fucking Gunblade. Mental health care taken care of. I knew you would like that. Collecting cards is so fun. Triple Triad Advance was that what it was called? I thought there was a different name for it. You played the game, and then if you lost, you had to give up a card. That was the name of it. Okay, I still have that fucking card game somewhere. Funko Land, like Funko Pops. It was FUNCO Land, but it was all video games. GameStop basically bought all of them out. Um, I'm the oldest thing on this platform behind CS:GO. Um, so yeah, make this a Gunblade and you'll be good. Make this a Gunblade and it's gonna be perfect, man. I will give you a 10 out of 10. Right now I give you 1 out of 10, but if it's a Gunblade, it's 10 out of 10. It's 1 out of 10 because it's not a Gunblade. Um, and a scope, and a scope. Siege always fights me, but Siege is a Final Fantasy X fanboy, and I'm a Final Fantasy VIII fanboy, and I hate Titus, and I think he hates Squall. So we just clash on this one. We just clash on this one. It's like Last Jedi. We will never see eye to eye on it. Attach a Desert Eagle. Titus is a numpty. All right, so this is AG's. Anything else, AG? Did we help you out at all? Sebastian, if you have any art you want to submit, we're doing critiques today. You don't need any points. You can submit some art. I hope your day's going good. But yeah, today is our critique session. So add a gun barrel so that I can get that 10 out of 10. Are y'all speaking English? Did you not play the Final Fantasies, Jalen? Like later on, past 7? Squall is the worst. At least Titus has the excuse of not being real. Squall was great, dude. Also, that was early. Although no, Joe Mad did do an art piece of Titus, and what's her name? Renoa was an 8. He did Squall fighting the other guy and an 8, and then he did a 10 piece. But he did 8 first, and that's why Squall wins. Because if Joe Mad draws that piece first, then you win. Games art never got. Oh, really? I wonder if you would like them. Did you like JRPGs? Is that at the Discord? Post a link into chat because I won't be able to open my Discord up. I'll just have to take links in chat and then do them. Adjust that curvature and see how it reflects light with texturing, so I may have to adjust the thickness of the blade. Yeah, I hope. I love seeing MC in chat and you guys helping out because he's really good with this stuff. FF8 and FF10 are inferior to 13. Siege, if you ban me, you smell like expired milk. Oh, bye, Echo. Bye, bye. Um, 1900 Scooby Snacks. Oh, if you want to critique today, by the way, if you want to critique today, during this session, it is free. It's completely free of Scooby Snacks. You don't need to cash in channel points. That's just during like the normal channel times. This is for everybody to be able to submit stuff for. See if you can help get that tattered look. Yeah, dude. The dude is legit. The dude is legit. Okay, so we have quite a few today, so I'm gonna probably move on a little bit quicker than normal, just because we did start a little bit later. Um, oh, I just saw Jalen's. I'm excited now. But I kind of wish Aki had got to it, just so I could hit both up. This is gonna be MX's. MX's kind of had to bounce out, I think. Um, so we'll just do this one over the top. Guess someone smells like expired milk. No one played 13. Miss Cookies. She got the accent. Not a critique. I don't. Yeah, I'll tell you. Um, it's an ancient weapon, so I'd love to be an artifact. I don't necessarily know a lot of the streamers, I guess. 13.2 was actually good. I like catching the Pokemon. Did I respond to everyone in chat? I'm rendering tubes right now, and all I see them is as macaroons, and I'm hungry. Yeah, yeah. Probably go get a little bit of food. Go get a little bit of food. Okay. Duplicate layer. Okay, so this is MX's. So the biggest thing on this is your color palette. I really 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 want to see a different color palette because a lot of your colors are clashing and it's just not popping through. Um, hey Sticky, sup baby? How you doing, man? Sup most attractive person? How you doing, dude? So one thing we can do within Clip Studio Paint is we can select our color gamut, um, and it will select most. It's not going to be perfect on this one. I can adjust it to where it goes more towards the purple, um, but we can select that blue. The blue and the purple is just clashing a lot here, so we can play with a lot of different colors. Honestly, I think the purple itself is way too saturated within that area. So one color that works well with purple, we find is like a yellow, and we can push this a little bit more, right? Maybe lighten it some, and purple will help bring out yellow. So that's gonna be my first go-to to attempt. Sticky, how you doing, man? Can't respond because I'm not included in that. I had to turn my screen brightness up so the character to separate the character from the background. Yeah, yeah. So this already makes it pop a little bit more. But the purple within the black is making it the black lines on this are very hard to see right now. So we can even change that up too. Um, let's see, select, deselect, select color gamut. Let's try to actually amp this up a little bit. Let's see how far we can get. Let's see how much of it we can get. Probably won't get all of it, but we'll try it. So I would probably desaturate this some, or get it a bit lighter. to where it matches. I still don't think this is uh, a very pretty combination. I would play with these combos a bit more too. But you see already how much that those lines pop now, just by doing that. You think teal on top of purple? Yeah, I think you could do. Honestly, I think you could do a lot of different colors. A lot of different colors. Guys, if you're not following Sticky, by the way, go show that man some love. He's a fantastic streamer. Probably the most handsome man I've ever seen on Twitch. Ever. Um, but go show that man some love. He's also a pretty damn good artist too. I hope your day's going good over there, BB. Um, you're about the saturation, just make the line work a different color. Yeah, I don't know that I could make the line work right now a different color for him, but I think if it was like black, that might pop too. But even just killing that sameness with the colors already, you can see how much it pops out. Like the yellow will bring out the purple dropping back will bring out the lines a little bit more. Um, I would even change like these colors here. Uh, as far as the drawing, I think it's a really cool drawing. I think it's a really cool ink drawing. Having all these elements as different colors is a little bit too much. Kind of into the faded out look, yeah. He's the original OG on Twitch. Yeah, he is. You would change the brown to yellow too on the cross here. Yeah, I would change a lot. I would try to unify colors quite a bit more within this. Not that you can't have this popping out, but this is also like a heavy 2D line drawing, and this is a 3D space too. And you had so many different things here that I think it's kind of hard to get the idea of what's really going on. Um, like this I almost want to be part of the drawing, even though I know it's supposed to stick out. We can still make this stick out in different ways. I don't know if this is actually, I think it's supposed to say holy. I think this is supposed to stand out. Um, but just making those quick, simple changes just on that level, you can see it's already popping a lot more. It's already much more readable. Um, Lurk, yeah, no worries, lurk away. When you playing guitar for us, and how many millions we got to tip? you have to tip. You have to tip enough that I can take like a week off and just practice guitar. Um, basically, that would be it. I have not fucking played, and God, it's probably been like at least a year, almost two. Play guitar? Nuh-uh, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. First, I would need a much better microphone because this one doesn't pick it up on the acoustic, and and then I would actually need to like brush up on stuff. Add some depth to it, yeah, definitely could add some depth to it. There's ways that we could probably make that cross pop out other than color. Um, Adding like a little bit more darkness here. I dig the line work a ton. I do. Like under here, I think I kind of like this open space, but maybe we could go dark with that because if that's all going to be in shadow, then this is going to be in shadow too. Just play it anyways. We won't judge. I'll judge. Judge. What kind of stuff did I like playing? I played just whatever. I liked playing a lot of stuff. I mean, I tried to learn every Tool song I could, obviously, but I played in a garage band with friends, so like I would learn whatever I could play. I loved playing like in a band and like sitting in a garage and stuff and just jamming out. Whatever my skill level was that I could learn to play, I would play. How does the fuck out of it? Find the bright yellow really distracting, like my eyes battling where to focus. The purple or the yellow, maybe desaturate the yellow a bit. Yeah, we could probably do that too. Um, and I think if this was our finished piece of work, and we were spending more time on it other than crits, definitely. Then it's like let's tweak these colors out a bit more, right? And try to change them. So like yeah, even desaturating it a little bit. makes it a little bit easier on the eyes. So the thing with saturation too that I've heard in contrast is that your eyes will adjust to it as you go. So you will feel if you were looking at a piece for a long time, you will feel like you want it to be more and more saturated. Um, so having a little bit less saturation sometimes is just fine. Uh, because your eyes aren't just adjusted to it and you're not looking at it as a new fresh viewer looking at the piece. I won't judge. Are you sure? You could play some background guitar for some yoga. What would yoga music be like picking music? Maybe if I had one of those bowls, those metal tin bowls and stuff. Is this where I go? Fuck you. This is hey, this is where you go to get timed out. This is where you go. This is where you go to get timed out for a second. For one whole second to think about what you've done, what you just said, for an entire second in the shadow realm. Um, Adding so much contrast to my pieces. If I don't know if I ever go overboard, but it helps the colors. Um, yeah, I've read that the eyes adjust as you go, so that's something to remember. Like the longer you look at a piece, if you think it's not saturated enough or too saturated, uh, walk away from it, close the piece out, come back to it, try to look at it brand new. What's up, Pammy? Um, I mean, if you want a crit, if you really want a crit, you can submit for a crit. But I will judge any hands you put in that piece extra tough, extra fucking tough. I will probably spend 2 hours just on the hands. My back is killing me. Pam said hands and it scared me. Yeah, guys, if you're not following Pomada, Pamadak, toss her a follow. Um, Pomada K, go show her some love. She's an observational streamer. She's an observational quality streamer over there. Um, but Wednesday nights they will be doing study jams. Those of you guys who are here, if you want to learn art, a great place to learn is actually Pomada's channel. Um, Her and James do study jams every Wednesday nights, and it's like a really good place to like learn stuff. Um, I get to. You are never critting anything I'd ever do again. Never again. Hiding among the various people that decided to buy up and price gouge streaming items. Oh wait, which is? Also, Echo, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much for the sub. Pam triggered me so much that I didn't even think to say thank you. But thank you. Thank you so much for the sub. Okay, so that was MX's. Now we move on. Ooh, Connor, we got some God rays in this. You ready? This next piece, I see we got a little bit of God ray action. Somebody's been watching streams. Okay, so then. Is also a professional artist. We will all die on the study jam hill. Um, you guys still, yeah, they still do them. They still do them. It's been like 3 years. Um, yeah, it's like before Comcast was fantastic. Thank you, Comcast, and decided to start dropping my frames. I was trying to do my Wednesday streams where I could stream study jams alongside them, and that was actually a lot of fun. And then like the last couple times I tried, my frames just tanked. Um, so rip that. But if you guys want to learn stuff, go over there, check it out. 14 years of study jams. Um, like I fucking love lighting, right? Right? We got some God rays going here. Whose piece was this? Whose piece was this? Um, Food comas affect. How are you feeling over there, AG? I'm surprised you have not passed out. Yeah, I like this a lot. There's a lot I like to this. I'm trying to remember whose piece this was. Insert SpongeBob picture. Yo, Cookie Man, have a good night. Thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate you. Um, Go have a good day there. Thank you again. Does anybody remember whose piece this was? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? God raise, I know I'm about to, but I gotta be up in. You gotta be up in an hour? You better catnap it, man. Okay, I don't remember whose piece this was. But we'll start the crits anyways. Okay. So, first thing I'm noticing right away, my inner Giselle is calling. My inner Giselle is screaming out right now about some possible tangents we have. Um, it's your job to remember songs. Are there not mods for this? Not for remembering stuff. No, not for remembering stuff. Um, I don't expect my mods have to remember too many things from too many streams. Um, I don't ever ask them for that. Um, kind of gives Avatar vibes. Mods here. See, just like where are the mods at? Can I speak to a moderator? Um, okay, so first thing is first. We have some tangent that's really close to going on here. I this looks like I just checked. This channel has no mods. Can I speak to a mod? Can I speak to your manager? I am the manager. Scoops thinks I'm an enemy of the estate. I'm not sure yet. I don't think you're an enemy of the estate. I'm trying to figure it out, Echo. I just don't know yet. Art by Karen? Art by Karen? Do you want to speak to a manager? Art by Karen? Um, Nani? Okay, so the one thing I really want to do here is I want to this because of how this is separated. First of all, it looks like there's almost two pictures in this. But do you see how you broke the plane with this grass right here? Um, that's very well done. It makes it look like sort of 3D. But here it's flat. It's very flat. So if we're going to have that, and I'm going to use the lasso fill in Clip Studio Paint so we could kind of make grass stuff a little bit easier. Right. Geez, go to do mom stuff and come back to chaos. Does that mean I can't ever leave again? Pretty much. Diva, you have to stay to keep everybody calm. If you notice things start getting out of hand, you gotta use mom voice and be like, children? Children? You guys ever see the big t-shirt when kids, like brothers and sisters fight, and then they have to wear the big t-shirt that they both fit in until they get along and apologize and stuff? And they gotta like wear it for like an hour? That's what we need here. Okay, so just adding that on, like I said, all I'm doing is grabbing the lasso fill tool and CSP. Whatever shapes I make, it will fill in automatically with the color. I love this tool for uh, quickly making shapes through here, or any designs. Right? You can just see how quickly we're adding stuff. So this is really going to break up that idea that it feels like a mural, and now it feels more like a landscape cutting through here. Right? Um, the one thing I really am not a huge fan of with this is that it is still really 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 close to this guy's head right here, and that's creating a really huge tangent on this part. Also, these guys here feel rather flat compared to like how well this texture is done, and also that we're looking at it. It almost feels like we're looking at it from a somewhat different angle. Um, and that's something that is kind of throwing, I think, my view off of what this is and what it's supposed to be. Our God rays are kind of going in the distance here, but maybe we kind of want them to come down more to the front, right? If we're gonna have these. Um, I will put this chat, pull this chat over right now. Drink all my rum. The shirt of shame. Yeah, we need the shirt of shame. Maybe we should make that a channel point system. Put the shirt of shame on two people, so they have to get along. It's not my fault this time. Gonna be a huge T-shirt to hit most of chat. Yeah, we're gonna have to like really stretch it out. We're gonna have to go to Hot Topic sizes. Like everything I used to buy. I think this is from Hot Topic. It's still like a giant fucking shirt on me. It's still like the biggest shirt I got. Um, Add perspective to the God rays. They're parallel, and it feels a bit weak. Yeah, I do think a lot of things are kind of moving in opposition for each other. Off work, dude. Yeah, finally, man. You gonna run home then, real quick? Are you working from home still? Um, but you see, even like that kind of lightened these guys up a little bit. So now we have. I think that was kind of another thing is they're so dark in the foreground. Like I know that sometimes we want to have dark going into light, but in this case, these feel so dark that it's just a little bit too much for me. What I would do is if we had that sunshine, unless they're walking through a valley, um, one thing we can hit this with is just like even like a little bit of rim light on top of these guys to kind of light them up. And I don't know if he's riding on top of him or what. But I want to see more of these guys. Unless they're specifically walking through a shadow part of the valley. Like I want to see more of them. What's going on here? Cuz this seems like where the story is at. Um Awk not weak, awkward. Big shirt system is easy to abuse. How long would it take before someone noticed I was starting fights with gorgeous people? Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Um, okay, so what AG is saying is the parallels with the lighting coming in, uh, with a lot of things moving around. My thing is I want the foreground to be lightened up a little bit more. I want to know if he's like I want to know if what this character's got going on. Is this character walking around? Is this character riding on it? Um, if he is walking, then I want him to be like maybe like right here between two of them, so I can see like the full body of it walking there. If he's riding, I think he's going to be more right here. Um, like I said, the tangent right here really still is not great, and what we should have is I think probably like the heel or the hill the heel, um, probably coming down like right around here. Instead, or we make it way up here, or we make it way higher, so there's no confusion, right? As it goes off into the distance. If that's the case too, I'm guessing this will be a valley where it dips down in. But if that's the case too, then like I kind of want to see these stones sort of like coming out of here. I want to see like the bottoms of this, so I know that we're looking through a hill and there's temples and stuff, and I don't just feel like it's a drop off, um, or like a whole another picture sitting on top of this. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the big problem, Jalen. I can't tell if it's supposed to be one picture or not. And that may be the color scheme, that may be like how it's cut out. Um, I feel like there's so much rendering back here compared to up here. There's so much rendering to that. Um, so like that's why I want these guys to have more rendering and stuff, especially if they're in the foreground. Usually your background's going to lose detail. Um, so in that case, maybe we could just kind of lose a little bit of that. Whoops, it's a little bit too much. Maybe we could try to kind of blend stuff out back here. Right. Which is something we can do with like any backgrounds. And now our focus is much more on the foreground. Now that feels far away. Do you see how much more far? I know this isn't like a good blending. This is just me grabbing the blending tool right now in CSP and kind of knocking things back. I could also just lasso tool it, and go up here to filter and blur and Gaussian blur. I can do shit like that, right? Um, Now it feels like this is in the background. Now it feels like this is in the foreground. You see how much more that pops now? Maybe fade the top parts a bit, make it lit. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Sebastian. Sebastian knew. Gaussian blur. Silhouettes work, but that's usually a heavy contrast. You still have color saturation, which makes it feel awkward. You mean that's a little bit too dark in here too still? So if the goal is silhouettes, darken the base color a bit more and keep the spot highlight on the backs of the creatures. So go from more dark to more light and less middles, right? Um, oh, darken the front more. Usually when we want more dramatics, right? We can keep yeah, yeah, I got you, AG. Yes. So usually when we want more dramatic lighting, we have less middle grounds, and we have much stronger shadows, and then much stronger lights, and we have way less wishy-washy stuff in the middle. Um, so like as we go into the background here, we're getting lighter and lighter. As we're going to the foreground here, we're getting darker and darker. We can still show a lot of these characters. Even just having that Gaussian blur, I think, is already helping pop it quite a bit more. I would want to separate them from the grass, these beasts a little bit. Um, like I still think they're a little bit too much in that same color range with all these colors. There's still a little bit too much of the same stuff. Um, so I'd want to separate that. Like even I'd take this rock formation out and just knock some of that color back a little bit too. And then I would probably change this color to somewhere in between here because it's just so close to this. Hey Jose, what's going on, homie? How you doing? The way my teacher told me is to treat this as a story. Close your eyes and open them. What's the first thing you see? Is that what you want to be the main center? Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So like when I open my eyes on this, now I see him at least, or this character. I still am not clear on the story of it or what they're doing, because they are like half hidden here. So like let's clarify that story element as well. Um, First thing I see is the background because it's more detailed. If you add weight by darkening the figures in front, it'll draw the attention. Then your eye follows the landscape to the back and sees the whole story. That's a good point. That's a good point. Which is also why we blurred this too. And like we can keep hitting that with blur. Because like AG is saying, there's so much more in the background that's interesting compared to this. Now, sometimes we can't have foreground elements that aren't the main focal point of the story. So it depends on whoever made this depends what you want as that first element of the story. So like in comics a lot, and we talked about Jalen's piece, the Rambo piece. Um, you can sometimes throw things as border elements in the background. So like if you really don't care if these are seen that much, you can like darken them up and just make them like sort of like that silhouette. But you would really, 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 really have to get in there and still make the shapes readable too. Yo, Raiders! Holy crap! What's going on, everybody? Keiko Art, how you doing? What's up, Raiders? How's everybody doing? Arm the gates, arm the gates. Gun show, boys. Get the gun show out, boys. What's up, everybody? Um, this may be picky, but compositionally less horizontals, more perspective helps. This is a great shot for a movie walking scene, but it's still painting. You mean you would do more lines to stuff? Yeah, you do have the God rays going this way and the architecture going that way too. Winter is coming. What's up, everybody? Anthony, how you doing, homie? Ping1, how you doing? What's going on? Is it Lirad? 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 I'm old. I can't see stuff. This is why I get this close to my monitor. If you guys haven't noticed. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Keiko, how did your stream go? I hope you're doing good. Today we are doing art critique sessions. Every Tuesday on stream we do from about 4 o'clock Central Time to about 7 or 8 Central Time. We do art critiques. Those of you guys who are new here, this is one of the critiques that we're working on right now. Layla the True, how you doing? What's up? Close enough? All right, I will take close enough because I'm so bad with reading names. Yo, thank you, Anthony. Dude, I appreciate that, homie. I appreciate that. Guys, Anthony is another fantastic artist who does a lot of like comic-y style artwork that if you guys like that, go show Anthony some love. Hopefully you'll be seeing him at lots of shows in the future one day. But yeah, welcome everybody, welcome everybody. Yo, let me show off your artwork. I want to see your stuff. If you got an Instagram you want to show off, if you got stuff from today you want to show off, let me put it up. Let me have everybody see it and admire you and toss you follows and toss you love. We have a great community here. Those of you guys who are new here, we have an incredible community full of talented artists. But the best part about this community is it's incredibly supportive to all the artists that come by here. I get compliments on these guys all the time, like a proud papa. Like a proud art daddy, you might say. Like a proud art daddy. So I know they're always looking for new artists to follow and support. I would love to see your stuff, though. Oh, you know Keiko, too? Keiko, should I trust Kimberly's recommendation on stuff? Should I trust Kimberly's recommendation? Like, I trust Anthony, but should I trust Kimberly's recommendation on this? There's a ton of amazing artists. Like I said, when you guys, if you don't $200 as a raid community, he'll read a bedtime story on stream. First of all, I said 300. Don't push the goalpost in. I'm pushing the goalpost back. It was $300 for a bedtime story. All right, Dad, can you give me some more spray paint? I told you to go ask your mother. Jake, did I not tell you to go ask your mother? Okay, let's check out Keiko's art. We will pause our critiques for the time being to swoon over Keiko's stuff. Nani, why couldn't you trust me? I don't know. I don't know. Let me count the ways. 300 was for the dog. I thought 300 was for this. Did I name a price for the dog? 100? Well, it was 100. The last 2 times I read Bedtime Story was a $100 donation. I didn't think you guys would actually donate $100, and they did. So sometimes we get a bedtime story at the end of stream, and I keep trying to raise the donation amount higher, but they keep hitting it somehow. I don't know, because you bust ass. Logic, was this you at all? Was this your piece at all? I don't remember if you submitted something. You said 300 for the dog. 300 for the dog? That seems really cheap to get a doggo on stream. Don't underestimate the bedtime story. Yeah, apparently. I thought one day I would make money doing art on stream. Oh, God. This is holy fucking shit. Okay, I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to have fun with your stuff. All right. Let us check this out, Keiko. So you guys ready for this? Boom. Got any DB super fans in here? It's too early for bedtime story. Not even through crits. Yeah, human. I can see that. I can see that. Damn, this is so good. So this is Keiko. Where did One Punch Man come all of a sudden? This is dope. Got some Copic work, so I can learn a little bit from Keiko. What kind of board are you using actually right now? Did you like for your Copics? Is it just like a Bristol board? No, 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 your art is plenty good, Logic. Don't you ever say that. Don't you ever say that. Put the big shirt on. Put the big shirt on with Jake. Damn, I love that rim lighting you put in there, too. So this is the rim lighting I was trying to show you guys in critiques. This is how you do it the right way. If you guys want to do it good. Even his signature looks good. That's unfair. This is so good, man. This is so good. You just spray painted a Vegeta. Oh no shit, really? You need to see Keiko's piece where he drew every DBZ character. Is it in here too? I'm gonna go through these. As long as there's no boobies, we should be okay. Oh, it looks like you do some inks with it looks like you're not even doing pencil lines over this. You're just going straight brush pen. Strathmore, Bristol. Okay, vellum surface. All right. There are boobies. Careful. Okay. I'll just avoid everything with the girl. Looks like she had clothes on in the preview, so I assume she's okay. How are you doing this Kim Jong-gi style? Oh, that was really fast, so I think we're okay on that. I saw those, but that was like a Fight Club. That was like the penis in Fight Club, just there and gone. Damn, I actually want to be able to get on this level someday. I've been practicing more with pen. I want to be able to just throw stuff down with just a pen, like Kim Jong-gi stuff. I know this is. Are you a descendant of Kim Jong-gi? Are you like? Is he like? He's like Gremlins. You know when they get wet, and he sprouts like another one. That's Keiko. He's got that talent just from him. God, I don't know how you do that. You took that pen talent. Oh, it's so good, man. Is this the Wendy's dude? Oh, this is McDonald, Mary McCheese. I thought this was the Wendy's guy. I think I used to have these toys back in the day. Is he your favorite? I could tell like you had to get that inspiration from somewhere. Your talent is sick, man. Even getting that inspiration is different. This feels very Ghibli. This feels very Ghibli. I love this. Holy shit. This looks very, very Ghibli. Are you actually Kim Jong in disguise? You already followed me on IG? Do you really? How are you following me? I should be following you. Working with the pen only is fun. It seems so so stressful, but so freeing at the same time. I really want the guts to do this someday. You have such a kind of a... I always kind of hate comparing artists to like another art style because I think you have your own art style, and I think most artists do. But like that's a compliment in the highest form when I say Ghibli. But this totally doesn't look like Ghibli. This is pushing more in like Tekken Concrete. And I love that you like have such a fucking range. Critique session I think is over, by the way, guys. We're just gonna look at Keiko's artwork. Are you guys okay with that? I hope you guys are all okay with that. I'm scrolling slowly. Okay, she's got a top. I love the motion on some of these. I think I see up top is I won't go too far down. Because I will stalk you obsessively after stream, okay? Do you do a lot of conventions? I wish, man. I wish. Everything was so closed up this year. But next year I hope that I can do like about one a month or so. He touched the god himself. Wait, does he have a picture with him? I knew it. That's probably... Were they fusing? Did they do like a Vegito type of thing? I'm not trying to... No. You hijack stream. Keiko, no. Come back here. This is your stream now. It is yours. You have won. No, dude, your art is so good. I don't want to stop looking at it. I'm learning so much from this. I'm also a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. It was, don't bend the knee. No, I've bent the knee. I'm sorry. The Scoops Kingdom, we all belong to Keiko now. we all we all belong to the Lannisters. The Keiko Lannisters have come in and taken over. So yeah, you guys should have been prepared for a more talented artist. I'm sorry. Um, yes, you get stream points for hijacking. Yes, yes, you get stream points for that. It is. I mean, it's Keiko's stream now, so like Keiko gets to decide the points. Um, we have been annexed. Yeah, this is really really good. I love your style. Because of you, I'm going to start practicing more with just pen and ink. But yeah, do you do tables? Do you do conventions and stuff, Keiko? But Scoob, what about crits? It's over. It's Listen. This is our crits now. this is this is our crits now. We love Keiko, and we look at all his work. No, we will get to crits in a minute, but I really want to show off people who rate us. In all seriousness, when you guys rate us and show us love, I think it is the appropriate thing to show you guys off and to send love your way. Um, I will definitely look at much more of your stuff uh, after stream. Thank you for bringing people in and sharing that with us. I really do appreciate it. I love sending more people over to you guys, especially when you work hard. The raids mean a lot. The raids help us out a ton. Those of you guys who are new here, my name is Scuba. You can find me at Scuba's Art on all social medias. Facebook.com/ScubasArt, Twitter.com/ScubasArt, Instagram.com/ScubasArt, Chatterbait slash no, not that yet. Not that one yet. OnlyFans.com/beards. Uh, YouTube as well. These critique sessions that we do every Tuesday are going to be uploaded to YouTube. So if you guys miss out, if you guys think critiques are worthwhile and you want to learn from them, from these other people that have submitted, I have lessons on YouTube as well. I would love to have your support there as we try to grow the stream, try to grow our critique sessions to be able to help more people. But thank you all for being over here. Sorry if I miss any questions. By the way, I'm really bad with chat. So feel free to yell at me, or repost. Oh, you got YouTube? Okay, I will check YouTube. I will check YouTube out after stream because like it's hard for me to watch stuff on stream. My computer and my internet, Comcast, it's kind of so slow. But if anybody's in the Discord and wants to post that into the Discord for me to watch later, I would really appreciate that. Um, I was sent to spy. Connor was the mole. Connor was the mole the whole time. Connor legit set us up. When the world needed crits most, they vanished. I can hear you hard on. I can hear your heart on. Oh, you could hear that? That's only 3/4 too, man. Um, get a hold of it, man. OnlyFans is the way. Yes. Well, I'm starting Only Beards. I'm actually starting Only Beards. So it's gonna be that, and I'm gonna sell. So there's gamer girl bathwater, but I'm going to be selling a artist boy beard water for anybody who wants that. I love the crit sessions. Yo, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you everybody for being here though. By the way, I love meeting all these new people. Like I said, I am trying to stream full time because conventions are out. So this is what I do for a living. So I'm putting a ton of time into Twitch. So I really appreciate you guys coming by here. All the raids make my day. It really does mean a lot. Um, in regards to this piece, less horizontals, let the landscape guide your eyes. Okay. Thank you, AG. Good idea. Good idea. Um, Sebastian, post a link to it in chat because I can't open my Discord during stream. But I would love if you post a link in chat and we can throw it into the list. I have a beard since 5th grade. You can be an Only Beards then. Use beard oil, coconut oil. Coconut oil is the secret. You guys want good beards? Coconut oil. It is all about coconut oil. Hello, new people. More important. Out with the old Bosch full on has like the Keiko sigil now. He threw down the Scoops flag and he's like, fuck the old people. And he put up the Keiko one. He's like, yeah, dude, I've been teaming Keiko for a while, man. Only the finest pins are made using beard hair. Vin Northern Lights, thank you so much for the biddies, man. I appreciate that. Now is the time. I agree, man. It is honestly, you gotta make the most out of what you're given. So now is the time when people are stuck at home. if you are just sitting on your thumbs in life and waiting for things to come to you because it did not work out, it will never happen that way. so so bust ass, right, Siege? Bust some ass. I envy the ability to grow beards. Oh, anybody listen? Face beards, leg beards, it's all beards. We celebrate all of it. No oil? Your beard is my too? Coconut oil, yes. I have that gross, scraggly Asian man beard, so I'll have to try that out. I'm telling you, let it get to a scraggly point, and that's when you shave it. Once it gets to a little scraggly point where you can't stand it, it's kind of itching. Then shave it. This is how I figured out with mine. Shave it, and then like oil it up as it comes in, and it'll grow in finer and finer, and then it starts to get scraggly and scraggly again, and then shave it to that point, and then let it go back out. And it's like going Super Saiyan level 1, and then you cut it back, and then now you're Super Saiyan level 1 normally, and now you're level 2. This is, I think, in terms of beard growth as relating it to anime. So stop attacking me, Bustiness. Um, okay, so let's toss in Sebastian. Can you give me the JPEG and not the channel link? Click on the image in the channel and it'll say Open Original. Click on that and copy the URL that it gives you. Flexing the beard privileges. Hope my job will let me go so I could go all in on stream and YouTube. But truck drivers, yeah, and I hope that we pass something for all the essential workers that have to still go to work out there. I hope to God that our government shit show gets itself together and takes care of y'all. Even though you guys have to go to work, I hope that you get some kind of credit. Okay, back to our critiques. By the way, anybody who is new here, the image you're seeing on screen is kind of an OC we developed over stream like a while back. I will be posting him as a draw this in your own style probably sometime next week. So if anybody likes doing draw this in your own styles, feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, come to the streams, whatever. Because when I post that, I would love to see if everybody jumps in and tries their hand at him. We'll give him a name, we'll give him like a backstory, we'll do all that fun shit. Let's get to our next critique. I think is Jay Beats. Jay, who just got his iPad, just bounced into the world of digital art. So proud of you, dude. He's knocking out this stuff on Procreate. Just within like a night, dude, I've seen a huge change in your work. So let's duplicate layer. Edit fill. All right. Okay. Other amount of art and people's names here. I know, right? But you know, all people do art. Sama-chan, how you doing? What's up? Secretly, we want to let go. Hey, Scoliosis, what's going on? I need to finish this Harpy Fat. Yeah, I'll wait till next week because I want to let people know that we're going to do the draw this in your own style when I post him. That way it actually has some traction if people want to do it. Do you have drawing tutorials up? Yes, Logic, I do on my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here and want to check out the social media, it is all in the panels below, but it is Nightbot's dropping that in chat. You can check out the Redbubble shop, the Webtoons. We have a comic on Webtoons. That's what I work on most of the time. So all that stuff is in those links in chat if you guys want to check it out. Anything you'll ever need is there. How far down the list am I? For what? I did the background on this. Oh, for critiques? You did the background on Jay's stuff? Been doing nothing but work and practice? There you go. That's the lifestyle of the artist right there, buddy. Now you're getting the hang of it. Shut yourself in and just work and practice. Okay. So this is Jay's. Have a good one. Thanks again. Yo, Keiko, for sure. I will definitely try to come by and check your stuff out. But I will absolutely be stalking you on social media. Your work is so dope. I'm going to watch your YouTube videos and learn so much from you. I don't know what your YouTube has, but if you don't have any Copic lessons or inking lessons or how-to draws, if you did those, I would be all over it, man. All over it. For crits, oh, you're pretty far down the list. We got quite a few submissions today. Yo, Jubies. Hey, Jubies. Oh, dig the background. Yeah, I don't read very well. I'm old. I don't read very well. Words blend together, so I miss a lot of text. Also, I don't know if Sebastian dropped dropped the actual link to your piece yet or not. If I missed it, drop it again, Sebastian. Last one, the circular head. Yes, yes. Things are going good, Jubies. How's your day over there? How's your day over there, Emmy award-winning uh, actor, artist, writer, director, Jashelle Miranda? How you doing? Are you watching more Avatar? Or are you done? Okay, so Jay, new to digital arts. I'm just like the annoying dad that embarrasses you guys on all your achievements, always. Right now. So the one thing I'm looking at, I'm kind of wondering, what canvas size do you use, Jay? Um, so first of all, what I want to tell you to do is, so for your canvas size, um, everything you've submitted so far kind of looks pixelated. Work in 300 DPI, right? And I would kind of recommend 3000 by 3000. If you're gonna do a square piece, that is 3000 by 3000 pixels is what I work in for Instagram, because that sets up a really good Instagram post, and it's plenty big to work in. Thanks, Dad. My real dad is less embarrassing. Probably. That just means I'm more proud. Children are frustrating creatures. I still need to watch Korra. Yeah, I thought Korra was really good the first season. The second season lost me, but then I heard it got better. The first season I thought was really good. I loved it. You do 16 by 9-inch canvas at 300 DPI. Yeah. The one thing I've noticed with both of your pieces so far that you submitted is your line work is sort of sort of jittery. So that tells me you could be working. That's at a really small size to where it looks like it's like pixelated, or you have anti something called anti-aliasing on with your brushes, but you probably shouldn't have that if you're using Procreate. Um, but like, I kind of want to know what exactly your specs are on this to get your line work smoother. Um, it's getting better in some ways. Um, Wheel speed for right now. Take your time. Yeah, just take your time on it. Like you have done a lot of progress, a lot of work with this. Um, so I am gonna like kind of push you on your line work a little bit more, just to kind of figure out how we can keep this stuff smooth, right? And that a lot of that will come from like whatever settings you're working with a big enough canvas, not zooming in super close to it, working with high enough DPIs, stuff like that. Um, as far as some color values on here, I think mainly like working with. So you have the eye; it's pretty dark. I think one thing we could do with the eye is we can make that a little bit less saturated. So we have these sort of, at least parts of it. We can have these parts less saturated. Sometimes when we have a highlight, we'll have it going through the eye, and like there will be on the opposite side will be another area of highlight before we get to where this darkness comes in, right? So then we kind of give it a little bit of glow. But do you see how sort of pixelated that is when we zoom in? Check it in CSP. In CSP, it is in the brush. It is in the tool property section. So like if you go underneath your brushes on the left hand panel, um, it's going to be within that tool property section. Let me see if I can drag this over for you guys. It's going to be kind of transparent here, but do you see like right above that color picker? There's like these round circles. There's like a solid black one, and then there's ones that look like they have white around it. That's your anti-aliasing. Um, if I have that on, my brush is going to be like way more pixelated than have that soft edge. So you see how pixelated that is versus like, so this is still zoomed in, but do you see how it's getting fuzzier and fuzzier and smoother the more I go up with it? But because I'm working at 72 DPI and I'm super zoomed in, this is 474 by 488 pixels. Emotes are 112 by 112, so we're working at really small sizes here too, and that's also why it's going to be pixelated. I go with the sort of the second to last, the last one for anti-aliasing. I feel like that gives me a really good like flow of stuff. No, I can do physical drawings, logic, yeah. The new artists do with sketchy lines. They seem pretty consistent. Yeah, that's a very true. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Your lines are very consistent and not overly sketchy. Like you look like you intended where you wanted to throw them, and they landed there, right? Not the file, Sebastian. Okay, so no, it's okay, Sebastian. Go to your post in Discord. Click on the actual picture. The picture will blow up. It'll get bigger. Underneath it will say Open Original. Click on Open Original. Open Original will take it into your browser, and that will give you a URL to copy and paste. Does that make sense? There's a bit of sketch marks under it. Yeah, but at least these look like finished lines. So they're stronger thrown. The only thing that's really giving you fits is the pixelation on it. There you go. There you go, Sebastian. Yours was on strong, yeah. Yeah. I love CSP. It is really the only program that I spend most of my time in. I think it's incredibly deep, but there's a lot that you can adjust that people don't know you can adjust. Like your stabilization on your brushes, you can adjust all the way up to 100 if you type it in. I think by default, the highest it goes is 15, but if you actually type in the numbers, it can go all the way up to 100. Okay, so on this piece, what I would do here is you have lines. Are these supposed to be eye bags underneath him? Because he looks young, and usually the size of the eyes being bigger like this will make a character look younger. If you do want him to have eye bags, try to kind of follow the shape of the eye, right? Usually you can get away with the front and the back, and make sure that it follows this curve. They're not just like straight lines. Make sure that follows that curve of the eye, because the eye is actually round. There's a socket there. There's a ball. There's all that stuff there. You're also on flat colors. I don't know if you really want shading tips right now, but it looks like this is your flats. So I don't know if I'll go too much into shading. So with hair, I know we had a question about hair the other night, drawing hair. I would just kind of, let me grab this lasso fill tool in CSP, and we'll cut a lot of this out. So with hair, the thing that I look for is where's the part coming from. So it's over here, right? And then we kind of draw it to flow alongside the body. And I kind of think of it in terms of like ribbons. So if we have this strand here, one thing I would do is have it kind of break this little corner. Instead of going just like a straight line with it, I would kind of have that break out a little bit. Maybe not be so perfect, right? I'm going to throw these down really quick too. So like in your example and stuff, you can spend a little bit more time getting this right. But instead of like having lines like this going through here, we can have the whole strands of hair if we want. If we want them to break and not go all the way to the edges, then we can have them end up here, and then we can have other strands coming out of that, right? A lot of anime hair will kind of do that too. It'll have these little different breaks and stuff. Maybe like a line here that comes out the side. Maybe we can have a line back here that kind of helps balance it on that side. Just kind of whatever you want to do. But we wouldn't have just like a straight line down, and this poof right here, this would probably break from that a little bit more. And let's keep that curve not having like a tangent in there. so it's kind of centered out, right? Also with hair, a good thing to remember is the big, medium, small principle. What's up, Jad? How you doing, buddy? Um, I'll make on working the canvas size. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'll help your lines look so much more crisp too. Like it'll really help your line work on a different piece. Yeah, okay, I got you. Honestly, you have this piece right here, and I would work on shading on this one. Just create a new layer on top of it. Uh, Grab like a dark purple color. Take your pen tool in Procreate, and then you can kind of go like underneath these areas and stuff, and just practice where you would add shadow in very basic areas, right? See where we could find like where the light's coming from, like under here. That's going to be kind of giving that a little bit. Um, Under the eyebrows, like I said, this is a ball shape. So under here, if the light's coming from the top, um, that's going to have a little bit of shadow there, right? But we can practice little areas that will help you out too, and then we just drop the opacity down like that to get lower, which you can do by clicking on your image in Procreate, and I believe it'll give you a slider and do that. Um, and you see how that's kind of creating a cell shaded shadow? Just that little bit helps pop it. Just even that little bit. You have some shadow here that actually looks really good, man. Although I would keep this, so the ear kind of goes, it's kind of got this part here um, that goes in. Right? So we kind of have that going on more than just like an open part. I like the symbol, yeah. Learning primitive form really helps you. Yes, it does. It does a lot. Come back to primitive forms to help just about any form of the body, which helps determine where shading. Yep, exactly what AG is saying. Because like we talked about the ball and the shapes, right? This is sort of like that egg shape that sits on top. So like no light's really gonna hit if it's coming from the top. No light's really gonna hit right there. If we're thinking of that nose, remember we talked about the nose being like that triangle shape, right? Going down here, and it's like that sort of like that triangle pyramid shape. Then sometimes we typically have that little bit of shadow under the nose. So when we have a mask, we don't need to see the shape of the nose shadow mostly, but we might see, depending on the fabric of the mask, we might see like that little indent of the shadow underneath it. Um, these are going to be a little bit more advanced concepts. What I want you to do right now mostly is practice things like your line weights, your line smoothness, um, and those simple forms and gestures, right? Um, Maybe like the eye. So we want eyes to be in proportion. So one thing to remember with eyes is we have usually we have one eye uh, linked in between the nose and both eyes. So we should be able to fit one of these before the other eye shows up, right? So if we move this over, we should be able to fit that other eye right here to see that they're in proportion. And sometimes we should be able to fit it on the side here. So your eye is a bit too long, just in style. But that's okay. This is stuff you will learn as you go, right? Um, yeah, you were making a lot of great progress. I know you got this background in here, but right now I would say because that looks like a photo bash background. I know Jalen liked it, and it's not bad, but like it can be a little bit too much if you're trying to practice and get used to your characters. So if that's a little bit too much, don't worry about backgrounds. Just worry about the main drawing. If you like it, go with it though. But yeah, keep going at it. Practice those simple forms. Um, I like you making a lot of progress with it. Just work on that line work right now. We'll work on resizing that canvas. I can't wait to see what you submit next time, to see how your progress is doing, buddy. Listen to you ramble while I enjoy the rest of my beer. What are you drinking for beer, man? All right. So that is Jay's. Thank you for submitting, Jay. Let me know if that all made sense. This one looks like, I think this one is Jake's, right? The three images. It draws the eye more than necessary. It also helps draw from reference a little. Yes, yes. And I think I put up that picture, or I put up that YouTube video that talks about drawing over actual photo references, like drawing over the top of them, and how like that tracing can help you see shapes and shit. A nice classic Heineken. Heineken. I never tried Heineken. I don't think. Is it kind of like Dos Equis at all? Drawbox is, yeah, Drawbox is supposed to be very helpful. I've always been too lazy to do it, but I think it's supposed to be very, very helpful because it starts you off at the very beginner level of things. Um, a lot of people practice these models. Definitely, I'll get onto that. Yeah, there you go, man. I'm proud of you, dude. Okay, so this is Jake's doing the trucker thing right now. For your stuff, my biggest thing is going to be like I guess cleanliness with a lot of these shapes. Hey John, how you doing, buddy? Is this the Holy Pokemon Trinity? This is Jake's, who I think is he doing some trucker work right now. Um, because I think you're kind of it looks like you're kind of photo bashing a lot of stuff. I don't know if that's the right term. Um, I can kind of tell the symbols, but like I want them to stand out a lot more. In the things that we have, like to make them clear, they when you're using flat shapes against 3D shapes like this, if you're not careful with it, it can look like you're just putting one thing on top of another. If you have like areas of high rendering and then flat shapes like this is kind of really hard to stand out. This one stands out because of the color on it, but it gets darker over here, and I lose a lot of that. I don't think we needed to get that dark on there. Um, Earlier for Piece to Crit, just curious if you got that. Can you post again in chat? I'm not actually don't have my Discord open, but we drop it again in chat, and I'll see to make sure if I got it. Yeah, I don't actually know these colors or these characters. I don't know these colors, but I do like Heineken. It's not that different from Karlsberg, I guess. I don't like German beer. Yeah, how do you like? How they not like kicked you out of Germany for not liking German beer yet? How'd you get away with that, man? Can't possibly be worse than U.S. beer. Hey, our bad beer is at least it's freedom beer, okay? Purple, red, blue and purple, blue and red. Purple, red, yellow. Gotcha. Gotcha. Please, please hire me, Joe. Please hire me. Tell your studio I'm ready for a job. Landscape painting on the top right looks very Bob Ross. Yeah, I wish I knew kind of where he got these from. Like I said, the rendering I feel like looks good. The composition I think could use a lot where the work is needed. There are areas where you're sort of fighting things. Like here, I think you can. I would kind of get rid of this mountain that's this big. Personally, I would probably move the mountain. Actually, because that's that different color there. So I would kind of move these mountains into different areas of the painting, right? Just so it can kind of not fight that with the symmetry on it. Um, Heineken's not bad. Is freedom even worth it if it tastes that bad? I don't know, man. I'll tell you in a couple years. I'll tell you in a couple years. Okay, I got you now. I got you now, Evanly. Who's talking shit on U.S. beer? Nobody better be talking shit on the Beast. The Beast. Brew beer bongs are amazing though. Um, brew dog beers we get here too. What are brew dog beers? Um, the border between the three is too harsh of a contrast. I like that. That is like my only thing, as well as making three birds more visible to stand out. Yeah. So you see, just this, taking that mountain out, right? So we took that mountain out, and now he already, like, you kind of see him pop out more, but he still is fighting this really hard. He still is fighting this area really, really, really hard. So I would even put him in the sky, even more, kind of knock this stuff down a little bit. Um, so yeah, our contrast here is going to be what's the hardest thing with all of it. And just getting these things to pop out. I'm using the oil brush right now, which I'm not super great with. I do love it, but I don't always know how to get what I want out of it. So don't blame the technical expertise on it, on this looking better or worse. Just try to get the idea with it. Other than that, I love everything. The renderer is amazing. So help me, Lord. Zapdos has contrast, but it seems a bit awkward. Kind of, as you mentioned, it feels dropped in. Yeah, a lot of this does feel dropped in, like a photo bash on top of logos. We showed AG's work, and I think the thing that would really help your stuff here is if you're going to have these 3D renders, having these logos not look flat and more like a beveled edges to them. I think that would do a lot to kind of help out these pieces sort of pop out. Just kind of giving them that sort of like that metal look, or like I'm just doing a highlight real quick on the edges, kind of as an example. You don't need to. It doesn't need to be a white highlight or anything like that. That might not even be the best choice, but it might just kind of help outline it a little bit and feel like you have that sharp beveled edge if that's what you want. Then maybe you can go up top here and throw some shine on there, because it looks like it's got some shine. So I just go over the top with white. Then kind of cut it down. Then maybe we'll take a little airbrush to it. Give it sort of that around the edges. I don't know. That glow can kind of look cool if you do it right. But it's so dark in comparison. You just want to brighten it up some. Same thing down here, like just kind of getting rid of a lot of this, like sort of like darkness in these, where it just gets a little bit too dark, and it kind of loses its shape. Then, like, once again, we're saying this tree pattern. It ends right here, but I mean, we should, to balance it out, we should have it kind of going the same way on the other side, right? Also, the lightning's coming out of him, but it looks like it's up at the top here. Doesn't he shoot it out of his eyes? Draw them on the same piece to give that look of belonging. Yeah, I would have to know what brushes they're using too. Yeah, this is Pokemon inspired. Yeah, Brewdog's a beer. They got a bunch of IPAs. Oh, hipster beers. Okay. Learn from my boo-boos. See, we can all learn from these things. Make that background a bit darker in tone. On any of them in particular, Jalen? Lighting is an interesting effect if that's meant to interact with Zapdos. Should the other environments be interacting with them as well? Maybe, maybe. I'm not totally sure on these characters much, but it's possible. Yeah. Um, Dang, I missed the first bits. I tried making it look like the lighting was coming from behind. Okay, okay. Confusing because spray paint. Oh, okay, I gotcha. So is it the background spray painted then? Because we couldn't tell if this was like photo bashed in, like photo. I don't know what it's called, photo mashed or whatever. Or what part is what. Although everybody really liked the painting on this one a ton. But yeah, the biggest thing I was thinking was like, if you took if you took the logo out of this top one especially, it's a great painting. I think it's got great composition to it. But when you put the logo in, like you're kind of half fighting this moon here. The logo's kind of disappearing. So like I want something to help it stand out against like all these blues that are already in there. It's already like fighting it. So um, the idea here was kind of to make it maybe look a little bit more metal, a little bit more 3D, or a little bit brighter. Same with here. And here you have so many. You honestly have a lot of different ranges of value and stuff. So you would have to fight that too with the gradient, where like if you're getting light here, it has to be dark, right? I see that wing cut through there, but then in here, I'm lost with the stars already going through it. I think it would look really cool if these were all like a metal shiny sort of look. 100% spray paint. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm digging the way this looks a lot. Um, it's just more of like your composition more than anything. So like we took the big mountain out of the back there to kind of give him a little bit more space to himself to hang out there. Just stuff like that. The lightning I kind of want to see like going up through this piece. I kind of want to go see it go through the top or something because it feels like it ends here and there's just like this big giant blank spot. But I kind of want to see it go like maybe like a bolt or something straight up and come down and split off, something like that. How can you send your work? If you have Imager, or you can post a link to JPEG in chat. Um, I want to start posting tomorrow. Yo, Harambe, what's up, buddy? How you doing, homie? Yeah, if you have a link to the JPEG, just post it in chat. SG. I took it off immediately and was like, oh crap, the color's the same. Yeah, yeah. That's my main thing for you is like getting those compositions right. Like a lot of the dark here, I feel like kind of fights the background here instead of making this really pop. Um, like I said, I think if you could make a sort of a metal look with beveled edges to these things, that would look really dope, and maybe they would pop out the top of it. Rostolium Montana spray paint. Okay, use lighting to frame director images. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, this looks really. I mean, I love this. I thought it was digital too. I thought it was like CG rendered. um, Especially on this. I would love to see stuff with like without the logo in it. You know, like that would be cool down the road to check out. Because I think that you're painting here right up until the putting the logos in there looks fucking sick, man. Just fucking sick. Everybody said this looks like a Bob Ross thing, which is like a huge compliment. Um, Never left. You never left, but you're back. What's up, Jack? How you doing, buddy? Um, okay, so that is Jake's. I'm gonna show my trap. Then I got back from skating for 3 hours. Damn, how do you skate for 3 hours? I'd be done after like 20 minutes. Did you make all that? No, that was actually Jake's. We're doing our critique session right now, so that was Jake's piece that he submitted. Yeah, we thought it was photo bashed too, or CG'd. So like that's pretty damn good. Okay, so next one we'll move on through these kind of quick. It is already 6 o'clock. Um, I say we'll move on to these really quick, but then we really spend a lot of time on these. But that's good though. I want you guys to have like thorough critiques and get your ideas and thoughts out. Okay. Whose piece was this? Anybody remember? Bueller? Bueller? You couldn't skate right now. Not a chance. Not after those squats, right? Um, Working on my pop, shove it. It's an ollies. I know the word ollie. I don't know any of the rest of those. um, oh, this is Kepions. Okay, this is the only Digipiece I've ever finished. Uh, yeah. Okay, better texture. Okay, so the one thing with you, let's see, better texture. Okay, everything kind of feels very flat here and very close to the skin. So like with better texture, just in general, right? Well, first we kind of need to sort of like go over anatomy and where we break that down and having like solid lines and stuff. Um, and like the difference here is like this is very close to the skin. So like with textures, things like that. I'm not super great at painting, but first I would have like the mask. You want your mask to kind of go in the form that a mask would go, right? Um, Also, I think we're gonna have more head back here. So we want more shading here. If I grab the oil brush and I add a lot more paint to it. We want to get like these areas in darker too. Um, Maybe not fully up here. Probably blend this out a little bit actually. So one thing I want you to do with your stuff is, I don't know. Are you trying to keep a texture on this? Because it looks like it was a little bit of sort of messy blending, which I'm doing right now. But you didn't blend until it became a more smoother area, or you stayed between like a sort of a painted look and not quite blended all the way. It was inspired to draw a bear from what you were saying. Really? Are you serious? Can I add a comment? No. So the mountains are rough. Okay. Yeah, Joe, what do you think? Um, let's see. Gonna head back to Lurk. Yo, no worries, John. No worries. No worries. Yeah, is the background real or painted? Step together and chat if you don't mind. Okay, I will let them look at that. I'll probably look at that later since I'm in the middle of this one. But yeah, guys, you can check out that piece by Jake too. I just realized like we're way behind on crits, so I want to plow through these if I can. Thank you for sharing that though. Masks aren't form fitting to the face; they're usually a small gap. Yeah, yeah. So this line, honestly, where this is, you're going to have like some shadow there too, right? Um, or like at least a bit of an edge, probably, some kind of an edge, some kind of a trim where it's going to uh, not be look like it's painted on so much. So I'm actually gonna grab a blend tool here and see if this works. So I'm just kind of blending this into it because I don't think that needs to be as dark as it is. It'll be darker under the nose, but so if we got this really dark too, plus if that mask is like that, we can honestly hit maybe the top of it with a little bit of just a little bit of rim light and stuff. What I really want to do is kind of like blend a lot of your stuff out more, and then save room for like harder shapes. You have a lot of texture going on here, but it's more like it's kind of like not texture so much as it's just like feels unfinished, like blending. If that makes sense. Because if we want that texture, we need to be a bit more obvious with it. This shit takes time and skill, yeah. I think your paint is a bit soft, and it's good to define some harder edges in somewhere. Here's an example. Yes, this is a really good example. Thank you, Joe, for sharing that. Yeah, using those harder edges is kind of what I was going to go towards. Except I was going to do it with like more of a cell shading style. But I was going to sort of like he might be sort of soft in his face, but one thing is like we got a chin area here. Even like under here, right? So we can add some of these harder shadows. And like Jalen said, Jalen dropped a really good video in Discord. You guys can check that out, about kind of putting in hard shadows and then sort of blending those out as well. So we can still have soft edges on those. We don't have to make them cell shaded, but we can have darker colors under there, and we can keep even adding to that a little bit darker under here, I feel like. Because this is going to be just like the mask, it's going to have a little bit of a lip there. Right, so then I'll blend this down a little bit. And you just kind of keep working with that. I want a little bit more of a highlight here. Right? Maybe a highlight on top of this area. You have a highlight here, but I want to push these away a little bit more too. I would kind of throw highlights in his eyes, just to kind of give that little bit. Also, eyes are not going to be pure white. This is kind of a tricky thing to notice. I don't think you actually have pure white in here, according to my dropper, but so we get a little bit of shadow right there. Maybe we have a little bit more shadow here too. Under the nose. Like harder edges. Alright, let's blend that out a little bit. So it's already looking, I mean, I would spend obviously more time on this, but it's already kind of looking a little bit more like popping on that face. But I would have shadows like under that eye be a little bit stronger too. There's an eyelid that goes into the orbital bone right here. And then we can kind of blend those as well. And you're just kind of going to keep little bits of attacking this. Up top here, like I said, we can do a little bit of rim lighting. Next to that shadow. Knock it back some. And I have a great clue about the differences in brushes. Yeah. Hard brushes are porn. Yeah, hard brushes are great. They take a lot of guts and a lot of knowing to kind of implement. I feel like too, because you have to be a lot less wishy-washy, which is what I love about cell shading. Okay, Flog, let me pull that up for later on. just so I don't lose my track. Um, yes, where colors meet. Yeah, so usually that's like edges and stuff. And I shouldn't really use like a solid black line here. I should be using color. So there's no real lines, right? There's just like Joe was saying. There's like those edges of things. So you see that edge where it pops is like below that bag, but then like where this cheek would pop, that's where you would probably get a line of like highlight. Hey, welcome back, Ariel. Gonna go do some practices. Night Logic, thank you for hanging out, buddy. I appreciate you. Go get some practices in. Um, please stop adding things that are more expensive. What did I add? What did I add? Ariel, you didn't miss much. Just doing some crits right now. It is Kepion's turn. Not to push your own work. You can push your own work because I believe you got some stuff in there too to show. Um, yeah, selection tool and softly brushes in. Yes, so a lot of the way that comic artists actually work, a lot of the way comic artists will do stuff is they will take a selection tool, they will get that shape, and then they will get like the airbrush, um, and they will sort of use this to create that hard edge, right? And that will give them that hard edge shape to stuff on whatever they want. Like they're still using that airbrush, but then they're still getting like this hard edge on the outside, and then they can blend that down if it's too hard, if it doesn't go with the shape that they want. Lots of comic artists do that, and they'll do that through like the whole drawing. Bigger canvas line is smooth, and I changed the line work and the hair to make it look nice. Nice, good job, Jay. Um, so you would select the edge where the bandana meets, then do the dark skin tone, soft brush outwards. It's sort of like sort of when you traditionally paint with tape. I kind of like the eyes after them. I did them. I took me so long to get the shapes right. I think I was done with the details though. Um, okay, SG, let's put yours in the list too. If you didn't do my crit, go ahead and skip it. Why? I didn't expect so many things to come up tonight. Like, do you not want to watch it? It'll be on YouTube. If you want me to skip it, I'll skip it, but um, it'll be there for you. Like, I'll still do it. What's up, Giving? How you doing? Cut and fold. Cut and fold, yeah, cut and fold. Easy way to get mirrors reflected. What's up, Sue? How you doing? Yeah, so what Joe was saying, Joe kind of works more with color, I think, than I do. I'm still kind of learning it. Like I said, I still really want to really blend these out. So it looks like you kind of have these bandana folds too in here, and that could be kind of a cool thing if we keep that going and we really make it look like a sort of a bandana highlight coming out. But we need like darker underneath that too, right? So like we can make those folds kind of coming out from that side as well. Um, like with line art, I'm a lot better at showing this stuff, but these are some things to think about. But I would definitely try to get a lot of your stuff a little bit more consistent, a little bit harder shapes. Um, like if you gotta use, I don't remember what program you're using, Kepion. But like I want to blend these together. I want that shadow to be together, not splotchy. This is the hard thing with like using like a airbrush or a soft brush is a lot of things end up way splotchy. So I'm just kind of smoothing stuff out right now, more than anything, to kind of keep that going. I love painting folds. They're so much fun. Yeah, I actually really, really love drawing folds now. But like I said, since I work with line art more, I would just think about these folds kind of coming out here from the side of this. Like I said, I would kind of give this a little bit more edge to it, a little bit more underneath here, right? Um, Maybe some shadow underneath these little piercings and stuff. You could highlight the top of this earring as well, the top of that side. So you have a lot of good ideas. It's just kind of like, where do you want to execute with them? Sometimes we go with a little bit of rim light, stuff like that. I don't know which way the sun's coming on this piece. Looks like it's coming from the back, because you have highlight there. Yeah, here's a great place to put shadow in. Um, I would use a skin tone though, but I'm just gonna use black just to show you. Having folds, seams in the clothes. Then we kind of have folds that do these things. So more shadow right here, shadow underneath that. Probably drop a shadow. Well, if it's coming this way, and then a lot of them is going to be in shadow over here. Maybe working on this arm, kind of, it would probably be going out a little bit more, coming out here. It's just sticking back. Actually, you know what it would be doing is it would be going this way, with thumb right there, and then like everything like that. Because it'd be holding it much more like that than like this. So try to model stuff for yourself too. Hey, Biggie Boo, what's up, buddy? Bandana folds can be done with the selection tool because fabric making an edge. Okay. Folds are tricky. Never really had a problem with, but I can see how they. I think some people just naturally dive into it. Folds were tricky for a long time for me until I started treating them a little bit like hair. So once I got into the point where like I was looking at folds like hair, it worked a lot better. Um, isn't a streamlined piece in some aspects. A lot of it is a lot of your rendering. Okay, and then you can check those links out that Joe has too. Um, One thing I suggest is when you have a character in a wooden area, because of how thick and dense the woods may be, ambient occlusion is the helpful. Oh yeah, adding more like yellow lights and stuff like that. And gravity helped me out a lot, simplified the concepts. Yeah, I think of folds. When I think of folds, the one thing that helped me was pinch points and pull points, and I've explained a lot about those on streams too. Um, Folds, anatomy, faces, so much stuff to practice. Yeah, there's a lot, but a lot of it comes from your basic shapes and how things drape around your basic shapes. Um, so one thing I like your color combos on this. I like the teal going with it, the purples and shit like that. I like that a lot. Um, okay, let's move on kind of quick here. Biggie, how you doing, buddy? What's going on over there, buddy? Hope you're having a good day. Just because we got a lot to get through. All right. I don't remember what or Ariel said. However, we'll pop hers up really quick. Pastel, I might have to show your store off later on, and not in critiques. Doing good, man. What you get up to, Biggie? Ariel, what do you say? Did you want to show it off? Did you not want to show it off? We can go over it really quick. I think we got plenty of time actually. If we go full until 8 o'clock, we go full until 8 o'clock. We just got more. BRB. Okay, Joe. All right, so this is Ariel's. She did today on stream, I believe. I'm just juggling a lot of things. Okay. Well, I mean, it'll be up on YouTube if you want to watch it. Just remember, it's about 2 hours in. Okay, so Ariel's. I love the colors. I really dig these colors. Yeah, the colors came out great. Came out amazing. Grab some food, Kepion? Yeah, no worries, no worries. Thank you for submitting. Appreciate you, dude. Okay, so most of what I think I would change with yours is, once again, kind of going into composition and stuff. looking at how we do that, how we set that up. Fill. All right. So one thing that kind of gets me is the moon shape here. This is a sort of small thing because it's kind of out of the way. That moon shape, I just kind of want it gone. But not here. Just in the angle that it's at. Like, I don't know that's totally adding a ton to your piece. Versus, we can even just take it out, you know? I think you were trying to balance things on that side, right? I think she's working in CSP now, right? So if we like that moon shape, what I would do though is I would keep it sort of a you're already pretty balanced, I feel like, though. The only thing that it's really not, to be honest. It was a last minute thing. Okay. I think it was just like a little bit too much. I don't know. Like, I feel like this looks a little bit cleaner, if I'm being honest. Um, I also don't know what this shape is. What is this shape behind here? Is this a cloud? Is this another cloud? Because it's clashing with your origami. So that makes me want to take that out. Because we can still have a cloud, but... but still make that origami bird pop out a little bit, right? Cloud, bird versus bird, cloud plus bird versus bird, plus bird. It's pretty even. I would rather have. God, I made that look like shit. Um, I need one day to upgrade my tablet where I can see my colors. That would probably be a lot better for you guys. Than trying to go over everything. I wonder if I can bloom this out. Okay, so she does have some shadow casting over her. So we can throw that in. I like that a lot because that helps it pop out. So we just kind of paint that idea in really quick. Paint that back in. This is beautiful. Yeah, it's really beautiful before I got a hold of it. And then I think we can just make this a cloud back here, right? So this is kind of stringy, but the rest of your clouds are puffy. So I would just make this the puffy cloud back here. And then add your elements and stuff into that. Right? Because then you can keep your cloud, but we move it back here. So it's not competing with that bird as much. Enhancing the saturation just a tad, not a lot. I love about where it is, but putting it in a tad direction for a bit more contrast. It was for value reasons, but now that you mention it, it does make more sense. The blue looks better. Well, yeah, it was just clashing with the bird. You know what I mean? Which I think, like, your birds in general. So this one is really fucking well done. Really well done. A lot of sharp edges and contrast. I think we would take like some of this color more up here. I think what somebody's saying, like adding in some darker colors and stuff. Like whatever 3D form this is that hits it, just to make this pop out more, the way we have it here. Just to give it like a little bit more, because the rest of yours really pop. This one's a little bit getting lost, but I think that shadow under there helps a lot, and putting that cloud behind it will help too. Gonna look so I can do dishes. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't necessarily know where would you enhance the saturation on it with this. So also one thing I would do is maybe the eyes, like we talked about the spacing on the eyes, they feel a little bit close together. So I'm sure if we measured them out, we would have probably like a much smaller space right here with those eyes. Um, and I think we've talked about the lips before too. You have some white going on here. I honestly I know you want that line that is that smile line, but the white almost looks like it's open again, if that makes sense. So I might just keep it. I don't even know if I would go fully out here with it yet, to be honest. But like, at least this kind of looks like her lips still. I wouldn't even go out this far with it. I would keep it much more close and much more subtle, but you can still get that same effect. Right? And we can still add those sort of dark lines to it. Where we get thin with it. Because that's a really tricky angle to do, especially with the teeth too. I tend to cut out a lot of the lines in teeth unless you specifically want her to have that look. She's kind of got like stronger buck teeth, which I appreciate because I had buck teeth. I still got buck teeth, so I appreciate the lines in here. But it might be fighting with the lips a little bit. So we kind of clean that up some. Oh, white just hasn't been feeling it. Okay. Yeah, gotta go to therapy. Yo, good luck, AG. Thank you for hanging out, buddy. Have a good session, man. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, man. Um, you like that much more? Okay. And then I would so I'm going to go in here with like hard lines. These are very hard lip lines. I'm going to put a little bit on her nose. I'm going to tag a little bit into her eyes. Just kind of rim lights and stuff. Kind of pop that. Give it that sort of neon beach vibes, We could kind of do that with the hair as well. Just little bits. But then we'll take a sort of a soft brush over the top of it. Kind of glow it up. And then we can turn that layer down if we want to. So we got that, right? And we could go with that in the top and everything that we wanted to. But just kind of popping it up a little bit, okay? Dropping her jaw rather than just parting her lips, yeah. And then we could even sometimes we'll have like a little bit of a shadow on this this bottom jaw here, right? Because this will be actually curved under, but that'll give like some definition to her jaw as well. So like this jawline actually is not all facing up. There's like a little bit of a level and a curve, and we just hit that with a little shading too. It's kind of tricky to learn, but once you do, you can kind of hack it too. Um, but yeah, I really dig the piece. I love the colors a ton. Fantastic boobs. Great job on the boobs. Maybe I would actually drop this a little bit darker too. Just to see if we can make her pop out more. Let's see if we can do that. Because we have so much of this dark that we don't really need to see it. So it's okay. It's okay. You know what though? I've learned there's a lot within art that can be accomplished with shorthands. I don't understand this as a 3D shape. If I'm going to be totally honest with you, I don't see it as a 3D shape. What I do understand is that I've seen it done enough that I know that there's a lot of that shadow there, because there's a lot of that jaw doesn't necessarily like go like it's comes out here and then it goes like this, right? It doesn't just go flat. So we're seeing the highlight on the top of this, but then we're also this is where it's curving down. I understand how it works, but when I see it flat, and I just know that there's usually like a little bit of shadow right there if the sun's coming from the top. So a lot of this is you don't have to actually understand perspective. You don't have to understand 3D shapes. Like makeup, maybe. Maybe I don't know. Sure, yes. Uh, so we don't have to always understand the 3D shapes that we're using. Sometimes we just have to understand the shorthand of things. We just have to understand how things work. Um, and like this looked like this that one time, it looked like this the other time, so I'll use these. I don't understand like this is facing the sun, but I do know sometimes you can add these little sharp squiggles of highlight on the lips, and that will create that light that's hitting from the top. Same way with the way that light reflects in the eye. I don't actually understand how the cones are shaped and set up within the eye. What I do know is that if it hits one side, the other side it bounces off of and hits that too. Just because I've seen it done so much that I know that it works. So this is kind of a way to cheat your way in until you learn. Is by going over the shorthand stuff. Okay, next up. All right, let's see if we can grab this one, Jalen. I like Jalen's because I know comics and I know line art. I like all this because I know comics, I know line art. Um, Here we go. Hey, no problem. I hope that helped. I hope that helped you. Thank you for submitting that too. I really think your colors crushed it. It was a really good piece. It was very vibrant, stuck out a lot. All right, so Jalen's. What I'm going to tell you to do is delete this whole thing, start over. Welcome back, Sacred. Yep, still doing critiques right now. Still doing critiques, man. We're on Jalen's right now. Yeah, it's honestly the better you guys get, the harder this is to do. If I'm gonna be honest, like today I've been sweating it out a lot. Um, just feeling like I cannot provide critiques for you guys because you guys are getting better and better and better at this. Um, and I'm like, well, what the fuck am I gonna add to it? Yeah, just share links in chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Perfect timing. Yeah, I know. Jalen is. Do people know what this piece is gonna be for, Jalen? We're getting better because of you. Oh, stop, stop. You stop. Um, do people know where this piece is eventually gonna go? Because I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, I love a lot about this. I love the folds. The one thing I think I want to cover with you on this particular piece is maybe like how do we do certain details? How do we render certain things? Um, things like this, for example. I don't think anyone else does. Okay, should we not say nothing then? Step brother is best brother. Oh, maybe we should leave it as a surprise then. Uh, so like we kind of have these straight lines here, which is okay, but like I don't necessarily think we need to show all of that, or we can have at least some cracks in here, where these lines go if we want to show some texture. A lot of times, what I'll do is just kind of break up a line a little bit to show that, because otherwise everything else feels so rendered and looks so good, but this feels almost like a sort of a I don't know, like a drafting sort of drawing, because we don't have as much texture on it. So we can definitely throw a little bit more in there. We can have some shadow under that ledge, even though I think it's going to be bright and maybe there's not as much shadow normally. Just as a way to pop it out, I'm gonna hatch like her hand here. Um, I think this is all kind of lightning coming off here, which is, if that's the case, I wouldn't make it. I would not make it necessarily like um, sketchy. I would add something to it, even if it's just kind of magical. I think the old school Kirby way would be like throwing those hatch lines all the way across it, some shit like that, right? With some circles and stuff in there. Um, but to me, I think this is lightning, or at least I would make it lightning if you can, and I would have that sort of like shooting off. So the way I think of lightning is a lot of like the same way I think of lighting on leather. You have a lot of these lines, and it's a lot of that counterposing lines, but it's not necessarily like up and down lines. It's really going with like a lot of violent force on it. Um, so if you guys have never really tried to do it, this helped me a lot. I do this with fire too, especially just to make it a little bit more swirly. Uh, Add some sparks coming off here. Closer to the hammer, you'd have a lot more sparks than farther away. Um, leave the suspense. All right, leave the suspense. All right, the mace being slightly turned will make it pop a bit more too. I'm trying to figure. So I think his hammer, or Thor's hammer, just in general, her hammer. If you look at it from the side, it is kind of like this, right? But with yours, I'm trying to figure out if I'm looking at the back end of it and the front end of it, and I think that's because these lines here make it look like I'm at an edge, rather than making it look like this is the shape that it's making. If I look at it from afar, right? So I'm gonna erase all these actually, and kind of see what that does. So then I would just kind of trace these out. And keep more heaviness on the bottom. And I think we'd probably get a point there and point there instead. So if it is going sideways, then we'll at least know now that it's sideways, and we're not looking at like both planes of it. But what I would want to do is see the front, this, and then that would be the back side. What's up, Palamine? Entertaining seeing chat drop rendering jargon on a spray paint. Yeah, you had us all thrown. Time to eat? Yeah, go do it up, Jay. Go do it up. Perfect. Yes, I agree. Perfect side profile can fall a bit flat for sure. That's why I feel like I want my mind wants to see this as the front of it, um, and then like this is the backside, right? But that's what my mind wants. So we'd have that sticking out more if that was the case. Um, that's how it looks in profile. Okay, I gotcha. Those lines make another square if you look at it head on. Okay. Curious if these same issues. All right, we'll put that in the list. Sacred. I wonder where you got this for the scene. I was like, from a spray can. Yeah, it was I mean, it was good though that way. Okay, so we got a light coming from here. Um, we got it on this side of her, but like what I'm noticing is that we don't have it on her face, right? Which could also throw her in more dynamics. And maybe this side would have more light to it, so we were really going to push that some of that shadow. And it's also coming up too. We'd probably still see that. We could probably still cut out that eyebrow and see that. But I just kind of wonder if we could light that a little bit better. Top of the breast, sometimes we'll get some light if that's where that's coming from. We can push more and back into here, right? Um, Maybe push a little bit more into here. I just now noticed there's a smiley face on her chest. I'm immature. I'm a fucking child. We're gonna have some light from this blocking it. Even this leg blocking it right here. This will almost all be in shadow, actually, this bottom leg. Especially the further we get down. We'll have more shadow. Depending on how heavy we want these, they'll have shadow underneath them. So yeah, remember that contrast talk we had earlier about like a little bit. If we have a strong light source, then we have a lot more lights and a lot more darks and less middle tones. No black shadows, but I like that on the female face. Yeah. I actually don't use a lot of solid blacks too, Jalen. I like the was typing as really the smiley chest. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not huge on the using like a lot of darks in that, like solid black areas myself. But when we have a light source like this that it's so powerful and so bright, that's when we have to make concessions and we have to like be like, okay, this is an intense light source, so let's do something. Even if you add color on top of this, um, first you have to trust your colorist, which in this case I trust your colorist. But they can also probably like change the color of those lines as well too. Um, I haven't seen this yet, so I'm gonna lasso this in a minute. Um, but also like I think we could add a little bit of if you wanted to, we could add a little bit of flakes of. I do this trick to add motion. I just add these little flakes in here sometimes um, to kind of make shit pop. Actually, there wouldn't be any light there. Um, So probably like underneath this whole cape. If it's going back here, unless she's got hair in the back, then we got to see that as well. But if that cape continues over, because of the contrast we're giving it, the more darks we can add in, the more powerful this is going to look. So it's kind of all up to you on what you want to do with that, right? Yeah, usually submit them in chat. Yeah, I think today I'm gonna close it off because I got like an hour till dinner and I still got like 4 or 5 going, but we will do these every week too. Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we had a lot of submissions today, which I love. I fucking love that you guys did that. But I do want to give everybody time too. Um, oh, here we can even do like the fingers to make those pop more. But yeah, that like you said with that face half covered too, kind of makes her look fucking intense. Um, so that's my big crit to you is if we have that strong light source, even though like I agree with you that I don't put a lot of strong stuff and strong black lighting into my stuff. Um, in this case, fucking light it up, man. You know, cat and blueberries. Yo, what's up, Calvert? How you doing, man? I want that goddamn look. It's so good looking on pushing the shadows more. Yeah, and it's tough, man. It's tough to get used to it. This is why I love digital though. Create a layer on top and just fucking play with stuff. Um, you can have some of that hash lines go down. Like we can hash out here. We can almost have this entire leg into shadow if we want to hatch it enough, um, and drop it out. And if we're unsure of like how it'll look, we just got it on another layer, right? Use that Jim Lee magic of throwing those hatch lines on stuff. Especially like this bottom foot, we don't have to hide this bottom foot, but we can hatch it to death, right? Oh, it looks like some magic's coming up through here too. I would try to make your magic. I don't know what exactly is what, but making that a little bit clear too, because that'll help your colorist. I want to post something for crit. How long I got? I got about an hour that I'm going still. Making some music. Night on, night on. Jake must be a bear. I think so. I fucking think so, Pastel. Um, oh, for your second rendering video. Okay, very cool, very cool. Um, okay, so that was Jalen's. Love it, dude. You know I cannot wait to see where this goes. Like I said, push those dark areas. Don't be afraid of it. You'll just add another element when you don't need it. You don't use it, but you'll always have that in the toolbox, right? Um, so I don't know whose this one is. We'll pop this open really quick. Okay. Never been here for crits. How does it work? Usually people will submit to chat a piece that they want critted on. We'll go over it. Doesn't cost any points on Tuesdays. As long as I can get through all of them, I'll do as much crits as I can for people, and then I will upload this to YouTube as well, so people miss stuff, they can see it on there. Like I said, I do have the YouTube channel. I'm trying to push harder and harder, so to get lessons and stuff on that. So if you guys are over there watching that, leave comments. Let me know if you guys are watching, if you like it and stuff like that. What I can do right, what I can do better. Um, strike him in the back. Chiropractor around thinks I'm pretty cute. Yeah, I mean, go for it. Go for it. I don't have time to finish it properly, but tell me you love it when I post it. Okay, I will just tell you that you love it, and I'll be like, that's it. That's it. Sneak attack crits are the best. Okay, I don't remember whose this was. Does anybody know? Anybody know? Bueller? Anybody? Um, quick things about this one, really quick. I love the colors on it. This is a beautiful piece. And the other thing I'm thinking right away is once again it's kind of competition or composition. What are we trying to show here? What are we trying to tell as a story? I don't really know. I feel like there's a lot of elements that are kind of going into this that I don't really know what they are. I don't know what this, other than it looks really pretty, I just don't know what exactly we're trying to say here. So, one thing I want to do is I want to separate this dude from. I almost want to add perspective to this. So let's maybe try. Like if these are going to be statues or something, I'm not totally sure. If we're looking through a city, I'm not totally sure. I want to pull him away from having that um, sort of this competition with whatever this piece is back here. I think it's like it looks like a reef kind of. But we'll just kind of throw that in. Okay. So, where is his body down here? So what I'm thinking is I kind of either want him kind of going at an angle, and then I'll have to like resize her as well, just a little bit. Hey, welcome back, Kepion. Oh, this is Sebastian's. Okay. So I'm making them bigger in order to sort of fill the frame a little bit more, right? So they're, and in this case, I'm making it I'm kind of trying to make it go in a perspective angle down instead of just straight across. I mean, we could have her taking up as much size as he is, and then we're at least close to it. We could have it going up as well, into the backgrounds, any of that stuff. Um, but the idea is that we're filling up a lot more of this page. We have so much of this open area right here that I don't know exactly what the focus is going to be on. I don't. They're not feeling very powerful. Things like that. Um, if they are supposed to be powerful, which they look like statues that are supposed to be kind of respected and stuff. To me, they look like statues of heroes. So we kind of blend this stuff in. Right. Okay, so we have a lot of these fishes too. So one thing I would probably do with these fishes, like if we put them over here, I think we got a lot of blur and stuff. We could do this. We could do that to sort of lead the eye, and we could have these kind of going around in a circle pattern, if we wanted to, swimming under here. We could have. I would have some in the foreground. But I would have these. I would use this fish element to sort of lead the eye to whatever we need it to be going towards. Um, in this case, I'm just imagining maybe we just need to see these two. I would put this, whatever this thing is, probably either make. I don't know if this is important, but it just feels like it's tied in too much with his hand. Um, if you have time, okay, cool. I will add it to the list if we get to it. Definitely will. So I wish Sebastian was here. We could find out a lot more answers on stuff, and kind of figure out. But yeah, use your fish elements to lead the eye to fill in some of that space, where it's going. I love the colors. I love the a lot of the rendering on it looks really great. Um, so I'm kind of trying to add that into it. Honestly, I would even like I kind of wanted to cut it off right here, um, or with just his face. That way, we're just zoomed in on these two, right? And it just feels it just something like that would feel a lot more powerful to me. I don't know if we need all this, but something like if we were just kind of looking at this angle, even though I don't like that tangent, that feels a lot more powerful to me. That composition feels a lot more stable to me. Um, Even though I know his hand is cut off, but like we're still like looking at something that there isn't a whole bunch of space on the side that we have to figure out. So that's my big thing with yours is composition, storytelling. Make it really clear what is this light that's here going down through here. Do we need that? Could we put that in the middle of these two? Could we move this thing a little bit? Um, just being really clear on what we are showing. I was taught to blur the items in the back. Is that helpful here? Yeah, we can, and we can actually blur the items in the front too. Um, we could have one of these fishes in the front, right? Like whatever it is, and then we could do a filter and a Gaussian blur, and we could make it pretty fucking strong too if we wanted to. Whoops, that's too much. Um, and keep that in the front of them going through there. The cool thing I think to do is to mix what you have blurred and unblurred, right? So if we're stronger in the usually if we're stronger saturation in the front foreground, we get lighter in the background. Hey, Flethling, what's going on? Like using focus on yeah. It'll be like focus on the camera, so things really close sometimes will get really fuzzy. But the mid range stuff will pop out much more. Um, but we can use that to just like shape around our characters too. Whatever we want. If we wanted to enclose them in something, we could definitely do that. His colors are really good, right? His colors are super good. Put your 2 cents on a paint over? Okay. About to start work? Nice, nice. How late do you got to go to work? How late you got to be there? Yeah, color combos are excellent. My main thing is storytelling composition. That's what I usually focus on with most pieces, anyways. So I think just bringing the camera in closer on these two, uh, honestly, that's you eliminate a lot of the guesswork on it, and it just feels more epic. Um, and we could do that. You could do blurs with water bubbles and shit too. A lot of different stuff like that. Okay, next one. Next one. What time are we at? 7? You guys submitted a lot today. I love it. Okay, this is more my speed too. This is more my speed too. This is actually going to be really hard to crit because of style wise. I like it a lot. Um, but let's see what we can do with this. This looks like a character sheet for a cartoon pitch. I dig that quite a bit. Whose was this? There is no next, not in Discord. Oh, I'm actually having them post here instead of messing with Discord. They can do Discord too if other people want to add stuff, like if you're doing paint overs and stuff. 10 to 6 for you. Whew. I guess that's not too bad, right? Is it at least a good night, Fletling? Okay. Is anybody in chat that did this one? I feel like these sessions go so long that people fall asleep. um, is that first pick someone else's art? What, this one? That I keep going back to, you mean? I just have my art set up in the background so it doesn't go back to my screensaver and shit. Okay, so this looks like a character sheet from a cartoon show. Um, I love this. I love this so far a lot. Um, you get really, really good with the characters in here. You have a really, really great style on your stuff. I love a lot of what you're doing with this. And the one I have up is that first pick someone else's art. I wish I knew what you were talking about, Pastel. I wish I knew what you were talking about. Um, this is somebody else's art that I'm critiquing, yeah. If that's what you mean? Oh, colored renditions. Yes, this looks like the colors, and this looks like the line art for it. Um, I wish they were here though, so I could get an opinion on what they want out of their art. Um, Otherwise, I'm not too sure what to tackle on this because this is very, very clean. This is really amazing artwork. Um, I dig it quite a bit. Uh, the one thing that's kind of bugging me is maybe like his hand, but I also understand why you want it clenched to show his character. But hey, Evanly, is this yours? Is this yours? I don't remember whose is what by this point in the night, so I'm trying to figure out. Um, oh, okay. Normally do painter stuff. I was just curious what you thought about it from. I love this from a color perspective. I think this is great. Uh, there's not a whole lot I would change because obviously you're keeping flat colors, right? For just a character sheet and not worrying about like a bunch of rendering. I'm guessing. Um, so as a character sheet, this is fantastic. The color palette all stays together with itself. Um, the only thing I can kind of critique is sometimes the hands are maybe a little bit wonky. Um, but you're also doing sort of a very cartoony, simplified style, I can tell. The poses, I like the poses. Everybody's like eye direction in the way that they're looking. Um, you already know what kind of character they are. Um, yeah, the only thing that's really kind of bugs me on some of them is maybe the hands, like her pinkies being way out like this, just kind of throws me off. His hands kind of being turned like that, like we would kind of get the knuckles when we draw hands. We kind of curve a little bit more. And like I said, this is such a cartoony style that it's really actually not that big of a deal. But we might be able to add a little bit more elements to it if we keep some of that curve in there, right? Or we just have that hand in maybe another position, or have this hand being the fist. So he's got one hand kind of clenched, but one hand kind of open. Style wise, though, I love it. I dig it quite a bit. It looks like it's ready for a webcomic. Right. So we maybe get both those hands clenched in there. Definitely agree about the hands. Yeah. I mean, I'm really digging so much of this, honestly. Is this going to be what do you say this is for webtoons or something? I think it's perfect for like comic page layout. If you want one thing I would do, if you want to use this as like advertising, I would definitely put like character names, right by them. Get people to know your characters, who they are, Um, Also here we got a weird cutoff. I don't know if that was just a screen cap you took, but move him up. Watch these little things. These little polish details can make a big difference. Here he's fine, so I'm thinking it's just the screen cap you took on him. Uh, yeah, I don't have too much more to add. I think you're very, very, very much on point with this, to be honest. Because I think a lot of things I would fix are more style based, but I don't think you should really fix style if it looks good, because that should be your thing. That's what makes it stand out, right? Like even if I think these are a little bit wonky here, and the forearm coming out is wonky, as far as perspective, in your style, what you're drawing, it makes it work, right? You have it there and there too, um, but I think that's how you want it to look. So that's why I hesitate to mess with too much of it, because then I would probably push it more towards my style, which is a very much more sort of realistic action one. I think you can kind of get some shape with these folds a little bit more if you wanted to, though. Like he's wearing a heavy jacket, so I think you can throw a little bit more in there if you want. Certain shapes like that, a little fold right here, because his hands are in there, he's pushing that out more. But yeah, I dig it. This bag, is around her waist, so maybe we make it clear where that's hanging. This is sort of super nitpicky because I knew she had a bag and she was reaching into it. Um, but like maybe we make it clear that there's like a strap or something going through it that she's got. Maybe she's holding that. I'm not totally sure. Oh, it's supposed to be an apron. Okay, okay, yeah. If it's an apron, maybe we do like a cutesy like little tie on the side, right? Some some little folds coming down on the side. Maybe like the name of a workplace that she's at, whatever. CSP, is there a way to bring up a reference in the program? Yeah, there is. If you want to bring up a reference in CSP, um, so let me clear this off really quick. Overlay, display. All right, so I bring my display over a little bit for you guys. Okay, so if I want a reference in CSP, normally this is my sub view, right? It's got his characters and stuff in here. If I wanted a reference, what I'm going to do is click on the sub view next to it, the little tab next to it, and I'm going to go down to the folder right here. So I'll open up that folder. This will open up all my files that I want to put in here, right? So if I want to throw JBeats in here, then now I have that. If I want to import the other stuff we had today, I can import all these in here, and then I can just go through them with these little arrows here on whatever reference I want. I can also make this bigger, smaller, whatever I need to see. If you want to put it as part of a layer, you can do that as well. You do imports, import image, and then I can just do that. Open the file up, but it's going to put it on a layer, and then I can resize it to wherever I need it. So I could make it as part of the image, but this is on its own layer now, and I click it on and off, right? So whichever one you want. What I do is when I want a reference image, I have all my tabs open, so I'll just open a brand new image. Actually, I'll grab that tab. It turns red. I'll pull it, and I'll pull it till it goes to this bar and it turns red. And then once it does that, if it goes there, then I can lock it. I let it go and lock it. That way I have it side by side, and it's much bigger. I can do this at the bottom too. If I want it locked to the bottom, right? So then I can have two spaces like that. So you can drag and drop those wherever you want. That's how I import stuff. Okay, let's see. How you guys feeling? You guys doing okay? This is a long session. You guys hanging in there? I just wanted it so I can grab colors for painting because I'm lazy. Oh, okay, yeah. I would definitely like move it. Well, I would definitely probably just put it onto another layer, and then you can use your eyedropper tool. Um, you can select to all layers if you want, or you can select it to picking from that specific layer and go back to it if you want. You can copy and paste it and just put it on that same layer that you're working on, up in the corner or some shit like that. Just whatever you want. Doing good? Okay. Doing great now? Alright. Fantastic, Blethley. Learning a lot? Okay, awesome, awesome. Um, this is long. You guys are hanging in there. This has been a long, long critique session, but you guys are fucking champs right now. Um, let's jump into our next one. I think it's gonna be Flog. Also, Pastel, I'll show your store off like tonight, probably on stream. Just because we got so backed up on. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 commissions to go through. So this is Flog's drawing a bear. I think this was just a quick sketch. Okay, so quick sketch on the bear drawing. All good, no rush. I'm gonna be here all night. Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you for the crit. No problem. I love your style, by the way. Your work is fucking fantastic. I love that. I love it so much. Okay, so Flog, quick crit on the bear. Um, just kind of trying to go in here. It looks like you just did a lot of pencil shading, so that's really cool to see. With hair and stuff, I tend to go more in these big clumps. I'll get my bigger pencil tool out, right? So underneath here, we got that bit of shadow. I'm gonna guess. I don't have a reference necessarily. We can get darker probably with the nose, because the nose wants to pop out. You can probably get darker with the eyes, and look for those sort of areas where it's going to be like heavier darkness. Let's see. And give a little bit more shape to this snout thing here. Very excited. So we can get a little bit more shape probably to the snout here to kind of even it out. I know this was a quick drawing here, but that's something we can think about, is light and shadow, and kind of finding our darkest areas and finding some of our lightest areas and using those to sort of pull values in between, right? So things like this under the main. I'm the king? Doubt it. Doubt it. No, remember we got invaded today. We got taken over. I've been dethroned. Um, uh, I can't open up a CSP file. I can only look at a JPEG right now. It would just take so long. If you can just give a JPEG, that would be awesome. On the nose for sure. Even make the muzzle a little wider. Yeah. I see this a lot within art, is like, give these things some shape. Give these things some volume, right? Like, don't shortchange yourself on like the roundness of shapes and stuff, the fullness of like an animal or a human body. Um, it's going to have like a lot more of that volume than a lot of people will give it at first. We cave in a lot of shapes when we're starting to learn, especially, let alone like I still do it. So giving like a lot of that form, room to breathe, is really, 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 really important. Learning that these spots probably, I don't have the reference to go on, so I'm just kind of guessing. Like we have darkness here, but then we need it over here because it looks like he's got an eyebrow, but it doesn't really match, right? So maybe making these eyes the same size. Then the cool thing about the cool thing I liked is using tone paper, so we can play a lot with tone paper and giving like little things highlights, um, little things like hair highlights. We can mess around with that, even if it's not totally always anatomically correct. Um, Using tone paper is really cool. I like these little scratches that people will do in tone paper a lot. It just adds a little bit more to everything. Right. Kind of mixes everything in. Gives it that vibrancy. So right now you're kind of working with just these two main colors between halftones and the darks, right? Even though we have several layers of halftones, having that area of lightness that we just carve out with an eraser can be a huge difference maker to how things pop. Um, so let's use everything to our advantage. Let's use the darkest darks. Let's use the lightest lights, uh, and try to make everything kind of work together. Let's give everything more form instead of scratchiness. Fur, instead of these being these little lines, fur is usually like we can clump it a lot more. Gonna walk the dog, yo, Calvers. Thank you for being here, man. Yeah, take the dog out for a walk. Make him look like a bear that just had a bath and is ready to take on the world. Right, right. Um, but yeah, so we put a lot more into him, a lot more shading where his big old bear head would probably cut through that light. Even on the ears there, right? Okay, so just going over this really quickly, but you see how much more that just that highlight adds to shit, and making the face fuller. Here he's kind of anemic. He's kind of it's a good drawing too, by the way. But like the when we think of a bear, like what emotion do we give him? We want him full, right? Here he kind of looks like a cartoon character, but he looks fluffy. I mean, he's got that bear vibe, right? And usually like a little bit of mange back there too. I love that you're using that sort of a gray background though. It gives you so much range. I wish more people would use it. I wish I would use it more. The tone paper look is just fucking beautiful. Um, but yeah, that's my advice on that. Find your darkest darks and your highlights and learn to work within those instead of like a middle range. Learn to give full shapes too. Um, okay, moving on. I think I think we got a newcomer here to the party. Okay, is this yours, SG? Oh, also, if we want to take things out of our sub view, we just use a trash can thing, and it deletes it. Okay, so I'm not totally sure who this one is. I thought this was SG's. Can I get a trash can button IRL? I wish. I wish I'd probably have one if I could, if there was a way to do that. Um, okay, so this is kind of this has like sort of a Cartoon Network vibe to me. The one thing I would kind of suggest, I love the character design on him. Uh, I like a lot of the work going on here. We're looking at these pants, so I'm looking at these pants, and you have the folds kind of going this way, but I feel like because of foreshortening, we actually probably want the folds going this way. Um, reminds me of Hey, kind of. Is he supposed to have four fingers? I think so because he's got four up here. And he's got four here, so I think that's consistency. So I think that's what the artist wants, and I think it works because, um, although in this case, it is consistent, but in this case because it looks like it's kind of a superhero sort of vibe. A lot of times, animators will give four fingers because it spaces out a little bit better than five fingers. Because you look at that's a little bit clunkier, or it's a little bit more packed in with hands than it is if we go to four. Um, but it just depends on, I guess, the vibe of whatever the show is. So in this case, I think it can work okay when it's done in animation properly. I would have the shirt kind of hang down a little bit more. Um, let's see how that works. I kind of want it to just hang down a little bit, kind of look like it's thrown off to the side. But like I said, a little bit more folding here, coming off there. One kind of quick, easy way to draw folds if you're coming through like a area like that is using this little triangle shape. This is yours? Okay, awesome. Ate an entire pizza by yourself? What kind was it? What kind was it? Um, okay, so with folds, sometimes we create these little triangles, and that's another shorthand type of thing, right? Within clothing. So like if this is a sleeve, anytime that benches up, that creates like this little triangle sometimes. Same thing right here can do that, right? Maybe like here, I might have this kind of going out. Just giving it like a little bit more motion in it, right? So like I kind of try to get a lot of motion using like triangle type of shapes, different things with force, right? Um, so like I have a triangle right here that I can see in my head that kind of helps with that idea that the pants are kind of going that way. And then we would cast a shadow here probably be a shadow underneath this where it's blocked in. Um, okay, it's for animation. Okay, nice, 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 awesome. I have been therapized. Are you are you a brand new man right now? Just post in chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about the lighting? I'm having trouble with it. Okay. Um, so with your thing, it looks like this is going to glow, right? So if this is glowing, what I would want to do is maybe not make this a black outline first. If I want the idea that this is glowing, this is kind of mecha, having that black outline might be hindering it too. So I'm just trying a white outline right now. I'll probably set it to overlay here in a minute. Um, we're just gonna experiment and see how this works. Then I'm gonna go over the top of it. I'm gonna grab an airbrush. Even though I know you have a kind of a solid sort of cell shading style, and that's what I do too. This is one thing I'm kind of learning to work with, is grabbing an airbrush over the top of whatever you want glowing, make a solid line, and then maybe put an airbrush, set it to glow dodge. We'll get it a little bit bigger here. Let's see how this looks. It's not as clean as I want it to be at the moment. But you can kind of add that glow effect with your airbrush. And just kind of play around with it and see if you get an effect that you like. Right? Kind of hit these sides too if you want. Maybe up here, he'd be hit with a little bit of that too, even though I know it's like rim lighting. Doesn't necessarily need to be a dodge right here. I would make it hard light more. Right, so like all these little planes of the face, obviously the closer to that arm, the more it's going to light up. Then you have a plane right here that's probably going to reflect it a little bit. Up here on top, I'm going to grab this color, and I'm going to kind of add some... Why is that not working? Alright, multiply. Right, I'm going to add a little bit of almost like rim lighting from the other side to them. See how that looks. Because it probably won't be in total darkness over here, but it won't be hit by this light. So something that's a little bit opposite of this might work. How did you do that? Yeah, I was doing the airbrushing. So I took a hard line, like the white, and I outlined your hand on one layer, set to normal on the layer mode. Then I put another layer on top. I set it to glow dodge, and I used a soft airbrush with that. So another trick you can do, because I normally kind of discourage the using the airbrushes and stuff, because I think for a lot of people it looks a little bit wonky. But I kept a lot of hard lines in this with too. So you can also use a lasso fill tool. We talked about this earlier, right? As long as we know what shape I want to make that shadow, then I can grab that airbrush. I can start putting that in heavier and heavier, close to that edge. I can deselect it. Now I have a much, much harder shape that's much more like shell shading. If I think it's too hard, I can fuzz it out. Right, with a little bit of blending tool. And kind of make it disappear. I always use a hard line first. You can hit the airbrush line perfectly, but you can bleed out. A hard line always, yeah. I definitely recommend trying to use harder lines too when you're first painting. But you got a lot of cell shading, so you know what that's like with what you're doing. The airbrush and glow dodge is more of like it's more like icing on the cake. You know, that's what we have here. We take it off, right? I'm not huge on how it goes over the skin tone, so I would kind of erase that, clean that up a little bit right there, because I don't like the way that blends, but you get the idea. Just kind of playing with it, seeing what you like and what you don't. That sort of thing, right? I would also add maybe some shadows to his teeth, cell shading, just in here, crevices and stuff like that. Give that a little bit of 3D feel. Let's see, you've got, right, so, whoops. Stuff like this. So underneath here, I think we still get a lot of shadow. I use the lasso fill tool; it helps me out a ton personally. Multiply. So then I drop it down some. Under here, we're gonna have shadow where that's not hitting. Under here, that's probably gonna go under the leg. It's probably not gonna hit there as much. right? So we kind of think about those folds. Folds, we get a little bit of shadow in there too. There's always going to be some shadow in that fold. So just stuff like that. Kind of trying to learn form. Even in the ear, I know that there's light coming through here, but that part of the ear is so deep in there. This is going to be facing away. It's going to create like a little bit of a cliff. So stuff like that. All right. Hope that helped. Hope that helped. Thank you for submitting, SG. I appreciate you. Cool character design. I dig him. I would love to see him animated. That would be dope. But like I said, give us light on that backside too. That way, there's two light sources, and it'll look really nice, rather than just having it completely carved out in shadow. Hey, Seraph, what up, homie? What up, homie? Yeah, lightsaber effect. All right. How much time we got? Half an hour? Holy shit. Holy shit. All right. We can do this. We got this, guys. Whew. This one's good, though. These have all been really good. I don't know who did this Warcraft Sylvanas looking one. We'll crack this open. Okay. Hey, whose was this in chat? Anybody? Anybody? Seraph, I hope your night's going good, homie. What you getting up to over there? Gotta go to work? This is your sacred? I should have known. I should have known. The fucking painting badass style. Um, okay. So I think my first thought is, once again, I look towards competition, or composition. Um, Bosch. Oh, let me get Bosch's up actually first. Okay, I look towards composition as almost anything. Um, I love your painting. I love the dropped out background there. That's so badass. That's so cool. Um, you got a nice little rim light here on him. Uh, I think you are trying to go from this hand, swiping and throwing stuff, to this being part of it, or this part of the tree. What is this shape up here that we're seeing? I don't know if you can see that. This shape. Um, Already at work, just enjoying your lunch? Man, such a late lunch, dude. How long do you got to go tonight? You go till way early in the morning, don't you? Um, Good value spinning the staff. Yeah. I dig it quite a bit. What I will crit on is a little bit of the maybe the anatomy here. So his leg is kind of going out the side. And if you do that pose, your leg is probably going to be like if we draw that pose out, right? So I think this leg would actually kind of be coming up under the butt usually for balance instead of out to the side. I'm running factory to try to indicate the staff being whirled around the character. Oh, okay. I would probably lose that unless you really feel like you need it. What I dig is that although if he looks like he's throwing stuff, I'm guessing is he throwing these balls? Like, are these floating around him? Because their placement makes it look like a necklace to me. Um, versus like if he's throwing stuff, man, let's have remember that how we talked earlier about like that blur effect and stuff, um, and how we can have stuff kind of like shooting out. We could probably place a lot of those in a lot of different random areas. And just kind of mess with them and see how they look, right? That way it kind of looks like he's throwing shit. And just kind of gauge and blur. Also, sometimes balls, when they look like they're going fast, they sort of, instead of going from like a round circle, if you watch anime stuff, they kind of go into like this stretched out spin, right? So we could even do shit like that. I know there's no detail, so blurring these really doesn't help. Um, but just the idea that like he's throwing this stuff out instead of them hanging around. When they're hanging around his neck like this, it feels like he's wearing a necklace. Like I can't really tell. Um, New here, do you critique traditionally drawn or purely digital work? Yo, what's up, Marlos boy? How you doing? I do everything. I do everything. Tuesdays we do a massive critique session where we submit, and then we upload it to YouTube later on. So if you guys miss it, you guys can check it out later. Um, but we've done everything we can. 9.5 hours, BTL, yeah, 2 again. I got you, man. Um, Tough it out, dude. I appreciate you being here, man. I know it's like a long ass fucking night, but you always get through it, dude. I always appreciate you hanging out, popping in. Um, and those balls are part of the character's. Oh, they're part of his shoulders, so they float there normally. So you really can't move around them. Oh, as if they're a weapon. Okay, okay. Um, Excited to get. Yo, welcome to the stream. I appreciate that. Those of you guys who are new here, thank you for being here. Um, Feel free to like follow along. I said Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Scuba's Arts, everywhere. Any site that has a chance to have art on it, I'm probably on it under Scuba's Arts. So we'd love to have you guys joining us on this whole thing. Um, Yeah, my thinking is that I'm looking at what these things are and trying to figure that out. Um, I don't know if they're glowing. If they're glowing, I would add a little bit more glow to like where they're actually hitting on him. If they're not glowing, maybe they're casting some kind of shadows. I don't know. I like a lot of this. Like I said, your main thing I think is that I can critique on is maybe like the anatomy stuff, right? Which I think looks really cool. Don't get me wrong, this is a really cool pose. Maybe keeping that leg, using like these triangles. So maybe try something like using triangles, right? Um, to sort of throw out your shapes. So this is one way to think of gesture drawing is we use triangles. And then we kind of follow those action lines. I think I've talked to you guys about action lines before. Um, but things like that. I know he's got his finger down here, but having that middle finger down here is a cool idea, but I think it's throwing things off a little bit. Um, Personally, I would throw his hand out. If it sees, it just looks like she wants to throw something. I just noticed the boob. um, Hey Froshi, what's up, baby? Always enjoy your streams, dude. Always enjoy you chilling out here, man. Even if you're lurking. And one day we're gonna get that. I'm gonna get that pork chop. We're gonna hook it up. One day we're gonna hook it up, right? So I think the shoulder would probably be going out here more. Um, and I kind of want to put like those fingers going up, right? I know that's kind of a typical pose. You nailed his thumb, but like I kind of want to see these fingers going up. So if we have a thing where we want the thumb to kind of curl down, um, or a finger to curl down, we can do it with like the last two on here. Um, I'll never be good at painting. Yeah, you will, dude. Don't follow him. He posts dicks. Only beards. This takes extremely painful amount of time to. Yeah, you just have to cry a lot more, Bosch. I feel like my shadows are still off. Well, you do. I can tell that you do have a light source here, and like I said, I don't know necessarily like where that's coming from. Um, like what these balls exactly do. I fell asleep. Yo, Amber, no worries. How tired are you right now? Overblend flats and edges just slightly. Nearly everything is rounded and soft. Even cast shadows melt. That could be a good point, right? Like we could have some more hard edges, especially. I think we have some here, right? But if we have edges from this moon on this staff, I feel like we'll have it on this rock and stuff like that too, right? Like I feel like we'll have more of it on the landscape than we don't. Um, and maybe that could be a thing as well. Uh, I have arrived. What's up, Shamblaz? How you doing, homie? What's good? What's good? If I miss anything, feel free to tag me or type it again. I am moving kind of fast because we are about out of time for today's session. Um, but you guys have put a lot of stuff in here. Since I am not as good at painting, I will divert to Tanium or anybody who wants to take these and paint over them in the Discord. Most of my critiques on this are going to be anatomy and are going to be like composition. So yeah, my feeling is kind of we don't need this thing up here. Um, just kind of bring that middle finger sort of back up here because I don't think it just feels like a sort of a harder pose to do. Even though I think it looks cool, it feels a little bit harder to do. Um, Taking something like the foot and moving it under the bum, right? So it's more supporting that area. Stuff like that. Balls go yellow. I didn't realize the color contrast with the skin. That could be, yeah, that could be another thing too. Is like messing because you have kind of a white glow on it. But if the white glow on her face, at least what it looks like here, I guess it's kind of a green with the blue. But like maybe adding some more color elements to those shadows or those highlights, right? Um, or maybe making it more obvious. Whatever light source this is, making it really obvious on that. Even up here, like shiny metal, right? So we think about shiny metal. Shiny metal has hard lights on it. Um, Slept 8 hours. I just think it's combo storm, sore legs, my soothing voice. um, I think you maybe got the wrong channel open. But yeah, I can see that. You're ready to pass out, huh? 15 years, still can't paint for shit. Paint is for little girl anyway, cause sore, cause I'm never gonna be good at it. Been decent. Come decision, I hate colors. Yeah, I've been making new designs at work, so it's really hard to figure out what color complements contrast to actually look good on a t-shirt. We're doing good. We're doing good. Yeah, coloring is really tough. Figuring out coloring is really tough. Hey, Angie, what's up? What's up? Um, I hope that helped. I'm sorry I'm rushing through these last ones. We had a really long session today, but it's been good. It's been good. Like I said, the biggest thing for you I want to do is work on your composition, like necessary elements, unnecessary elements. Make it very clear what is going on in a painting, in a piece. Um, Yo, good, SG, good, good. I have the voice of Velvet. Jalen tells me Fergie and Jesus, which I think is from Step Brothers. All I do is sketch. We all have our things. Right, right. We do all have our things. That's very true. That's very true. I don't delve into painting a lot, but like you guys are pushing me with these critiques. All right, whose is this one? We'll do about 5 minutes on these last two. Saw him at 80 viewers the other day. That's some king shit. Yo, it was probably Brox rated us, Khan rated us. We've been getting a lot of good support from raids. I appreciate you guys a ton. Those are two badass dudes with badass beards, dropping good numbers on us. So helps us get exposure, helps us get out there more in front of more people. Is this yours, Sue? He reads us bedtime stories too. Well, it it depends. It depends. Um, Fletling might be a D&D character. Fletling might be a D&D character on this page too. I don't know. One of these pages, Fletling's a D&D character on. Oh yeah, this was Fletling's first night here, wasn't it? Definitely Flethling's first night here. And I was supposed to draw what I thought Fletling looked like. Here goes Chrissy, Circa, and then Bannon, and we made a D&D party with them. Um, okay, this is yours. Only 70k more to go for mine. I heard somebody said that Twitch throttled points. Okay, so it looks like you got a little character. I love that you're using your shape breakdowns in this right now. Um, Very cool, because that's going to be great. Is her hands in front of him, or is this going to go behind his head? It's supposed to be a small girl sitting on a large butler's shoulder. Okay, so if she's on the shoulder, I feel like her hands, the way her arms are going to be, is they're actually going to be, um, one is going to be back behind there, right? And that's going to look actually a little bit better because she's on that shoulder, so she's the head kind of rises up between those. I sculpt from blobs. I add and subtract shapes. Silhouettes get wider, thinner. It's like spreading mud with a broom. Drawing and painting. Yeah, drawing and painting are very. It's weird because it's art, but it's very different mindsets. Uh, so we talked with this with Jay. Jay was learning the other night about our shapes, and how we divide stuff. Using a circle is good. Then we have the neck here. But one thing we could also do is use more of like an oval shape. This guy looks like he's going to be pretty beefy, right? So, Frosty, I hope you're doing good over there too, baby. Um, Sorry if I didn't say hi to anybody. I kind of get in the zone. We're kind of rushing through these. Let's see. So, depending on what it is, I'm guessing he's probably looking up at her. They're looking at each other. We could also play around. We could also play around with different head shapes, so like rectangles, squares. This is probably why I enjoy drawing guys a lot more, is I feel like you really get a lot more room to play around with head shapes. He looks like he's very beefy, so let's like add traps in here. So when we make that circle for the body, if he's very beefy, we kind of add space behind him. Um, I'd also kind of bring his shoulders down. One thing Great Capullo talked about was bringing your shoulders down, having sort of this U arch instead of like going up with shoulders and stuff, um, or going sideways with shoulders. He talked about like bringing that shoulder joint down because it looked like there was more weight on those hands and those arms, right? So we can start that. We can keep this whole trap kind of curved down like this, right? Same with here. She's on his shoulder, so he's got it raised up, obviously. So that's a little bit different. Because I actually do that in pie. Painting me is closer to working with clay than it is to drawing. Okay, I'm a 3D artist. 2D really 2D confuses you. That's really interesting because 3D. I watched AG do some 3D last night, and I've watched MC do 3D stuff, and it's so hard for me to grasp. It's so hard for me to grasp. Um, Everything confuses me. Depends on the type of painting. Do you like watercolors? They're very different from oils. I gotcha. Your mud is just there. Okay, so this is kind of my main ideas. Is when we talk about perspective, we're talking about putting things. We're using shapes to kind of create that contrast, right? So it's not perspective isn't all about like having a shape that goes towards a vanishing point like this, right? and here's your vanishing point, and everything goes over there. Sometimes what we're doing is we're putting shapes behind things in the foreground, like the bottom of her legs and her butt that she would be sitting on, um, and using that neck and that his other shoulder to kind of overlap those, right? So we're overlapping this hand here. So now we got perspective on this. This is overlapping the head that you already did. So you can see that. Um, these are all overlapping on here, right? You have overlap with the towel. We overlap the back of the tricep muscle with that shoulder. So like all those things sort of create that little bit of perspective. Um, but that's my main crit on yours is kind of try experimenting with some different shapes for the head. Like see how you have like a full shape for here. That's very much a kid shape. But if he's big and beefy, try like using like these rectangle shapes. Just kind of experiment and see if you like it a little bit better. Okay. You don't have to stick with it. It's just different things. If you guys want to get into making your characters a little bit more vibrant, draw these weird shapes and then try to make a face out of all of them. You know what I mean? See what you can do. I feel like I need to get out my notebook here. So he's doing rough shapes for everything. The way you're doing the head and shoulders makes it easier to see. Does it? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean this is just learning, cause where you're at here, this is good though. That you're doing all this. This is really good, cause you're understanding that these are forms, and you're putting these in here, right? As you go, you will learn to do like negative shape drawing, and that's what I'm doing. Is I'm sort of just learning how to make these shapes without carving them out. But in my head, I'm still making these shapes the same way you are. I'm just learning that I can do a little bit more with my forms. Like this is more of a shoulder form than a circle, but it took me a long time to get there. I had to use a circle for a long time and slowly change it from a circle to now we're just making a teardrop. Now we're making the teardrop where at the top at the part where the trap connects to it, right? And then we divide that into three, and that's an actual deltoid. Um, you're an artist with images for emotes. Fucking shocking. Well, since people got banned, now that my Hasten Bless emote, I feel like raised a lot more in value. Hasten's a lot more important to the stream now. Okay. 5 minutes to go. Whoops. Bosch's Lord of the Melons. This is kind of great. I hope Bellatrix sees this at some point. She's a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. Yeah, shapes don't have to be so definitive. Exactly. You'll learn to kind of mold them to what you like. No shit, Fleshling. Awesome. When do you think you're gonna do your first stream? Okay, so this is Bosch's. Do not save. Juicy sweet, right? So I actually really love this one. I really love this one. It kind of has like this MTV style to it. With your stuff, kind of the same thing. The same thing I kind of want to talk with everybody about is, I know he is Gollum and he has weird head shapes, but like, unless he's got like that particular caved in skull, kind of trying to round stuff out. I think he's got like further out jaw lines. Like I said, I see this a lot where we cave in our shapes a little bit too much. We don't round them out enough. We don't give them fullness, and that could kind of hurt us. It makes things look a little bit deflated. Like here, the top of the leg would be more pushed out. Same thing here, like we have the neck going. We probably have it here. But our collarbone gets in here, and then our collarbone would kind of come out this way, right? Um, so also, if we have wrinkles over here for whatever it is, we're probably gonna have them on the opposite side as well. Only if you can fit it in. Yo, I will be streaming tonight. Is it Marlowe? Is it with an L or an I? I have a hard time seeing because my screen gets smaller and I'm fucking old as shit. Um, oh, this is mouse only? What the fuck, man? Alright, forget everything I said. This is mouse only. Holy shit, dude. Um, it's an L? Okay, perfect. Thank you. If you are going to be back tonight, um, I'm going to take an hour dinner break. I take an hour break from about 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock, and then I stream from 9 till midnight again. If you're going to be back tonight and hang out in chat, will you share it tonight in chat? And I can go over it with you? Because that would give me a little bit more time. I should have made it fast fuck. Um, yeah, joining with the mouse only is crazy. But we're gonna keep just more, mainly consistency, right? So we're gonna see like that collarbone, things like that, because he is so skinny. Um, and yeah, and just mainly the big thing is just like don't flatten out our shapes, right? Although you drew with the mouse, so that's kind of. I feel like everything I say to this, you got to take with a grain of salt. Take with a grain of salt. Here's our pinch points and pull points. We talk about folds. So this is a pull point. It's going down with gravity. It's pulling down. Um, I would also see more of it over here. His leg would probably come out here instead, right? Instead of being back up here. But yeah, that's my main thing is keep fullness in shapes. Um, I can't believe you did this with a mouse. I'm blown away by it. Yeah, definitely. Come back tonight. We just ran out of time tonight. You guys were crazy with the submissions. Thank you so much for being here, guys. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys did good. They just round off. Yeah, I now that I'm kind of seeing like no pin pressure on this. It's got a very cool MTV style though. There's something about that mouse style, no pin pressure style that I think is kind of cool when people use it. Um, might see you tonight. I'd love that, Fluffling. Come back tonight. We will do maybe throw one more critique in there at the very end, and then we will work on probably Faeforge Academy's tree painting. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for all your submissions. I appreciate it so much. I said you guys submitted a lot. Really cool stuff. Thank you guys. Uh, Next week we'll do it again. We might have to start earlier. We may have to start earlier if we get all these submissions again next week. Scooby Snacks, yes, Scooby Snacks for everybody. Oh, the tree, yeah, we're still hammering on the tree. So tonight we will. Well, I'm even gonna try to dig through it for now. Tonight we will be back on that tree. Also, guys, I'm gonna pop Pastel's store into chat because she's going to have a sale on her stuff. I did not get the critique section with it, but Pastel's here a lot. She works really, really hard on her stuff. She puts things up on the first of every month. If you guys are interested in supporting her and supporting her as an artist, I'm going to drop her stuff in chat. Check it out. She works, like I said, she works so hard. The first day of every month, she has everything gets uploaded to the shop, and she has a big sale on stuff. And she knows this is my favorite piece ever. Um, the Penguin and Crocs is probably my favorite piece she's ever done. Probably will always be. But thank you guys. I'm gonna go get some dinner. I will be back in an hour. I would love it if you guys come raid somebody with me. So at the end of every stream, those of you guys who are new here, we like to show another artist on Twitch, a little bit of love. And we go raid and show them some love while I go stuff my face